Yes, people. Welcome back to GNA TV. And before we get into that Real Madrid and Chelsea clash tomorrow, let's cue that intro.
Don't know how I'm here, and it's you that I want to need. Feel your heartbeat. Feel somewhere you're looking good. Feel your heartbeat. Feel somewhere you're looking good.
Yes, people. Welcome back to GNA TV. I hope you guys are all well. I hope you've had a wicked day. I hope everyone's safe and everything else. I'm joined by Connor, who will be with me. We've got a couple of other people jumping in as well. Man like Johnny, man like Daniel Bamiji. Probably some others will jump in soon as well. We will be releasing a link to you guys so you can come in, have your say. We're going to go through the chat about the game. We're going to go through our lineups. We're going to go through the injuries, which I'm going to bring up now, who's not being able to play tomorrow. And we're also going to go through a little bit about Timo Werner as well. There's been a lot of criticism about him as well. So it's going to be good. But Connor, how you doing, man? You all right?
I'm good, man. If you guys are watching, start liking, start subscribing, and go follow Jem on Twitter. We got to get him up past 10K. We're almost there. I'm good. I'm confident about tomorrow's game, but we'll discuss more about it. I'm just nervous about the X factor of some of the veteran, Real Madrid players. And, Mason Mount has that X factor too, but we'll talk more about it, later on.
We will get into it. We will definitely get into it. People, before we move forward, please smash that like button. Please share on your socials. Let's try and build up the crowd. Let's try and get us going. We're not far away from that magic 1K now. We're literally so close to it as well. Help us get to that. I appreciate it. It was a big show yesterday when we done the watch along, and we're nearly at 1K on that in views, which we appreciate. So yeah, let's try and build up an audience and have a bit of fun here. But yeah, get moving into the game. Real Madrid versus Chelsea, semi-final clash, first leg. Real Madrid are at home. Let's just quickly go through. I want to share this with you guys quickly. Let's quickly share this screen. Here we go, people. Here we go. So obviously, the first picture that pops up is this man. We will be talking about this man, probably to start with. But Eden Hazard is passed as fit. Zinedine Zidane's confirmed that. We are missing Mateo Kovacic in the game tomorrow. Other than that, I think Tammy Abraham might not be in there. Yeah, so it's Mateo Kovacic is an absentee with muscular injury. Tuchel will tells his players to be ourselves and rely on our strengths to do the things that make you confident. We'll get into that as well. Zidane thinks that Chelsea will sit. Don't think that Chelsea will sit back. He thinks we'll compete. He thinks we'll attack, and he thinks we'll defend well. So pretty much just not change. It's weird because we've never really watched in Champions League history. When you think about it, it's always been clashes of Chelsea versus Barcelona. The amount of times we played them. We've not really ever come across it where we've actually played Real Madrid, have we, Connor, in like a semi-final, quarter-final? So this is quite new to us, isn't it, in many ways?
I think the biggest thing here is that, and I don't want to bring up the topic too much, but this is like the games that we love. I've actually gotten off work tomorrow for this game. Like these are teams that if they played every Tuesday, it wouldn't be a big deal. If they played every Tuesday and Thursday, it wouldn't be as big of a deal. But these are two quality European sides, and Chelsea may be more of the underdog when it comes to experience or what sort of pedigree we have behind ourselves, even though we do have a Champions League title. But the guys on this squad have won multiple, and they're in there and they're playing, with the likes of Modric, Kroos, all these guys, Benzema, and they all have that little X factor where we could be 1-0 down, a good away goal. We're going to see out a 1-0 victory and just cross 5 yards off the edge of the box. Benzema gets a lucky through ball, something little like that. That's what you can expect from these teams, and I think that's what makes the game so exciting.
People asking me to explain myself about Varane. I've explained it, but I'll keep explaining myself. I ain't going to talk about it now, but we will talk about it later on. No issues with that. Xavi's in the chat. Big up to Xavi as well. Big up to Real Chris. Josh, who's an Arsenal fan, says Real Madrid will slap Chelsea so hard. Rams, save the Varane chat. I don't know why it's all the little FIFA boys that are coming out, aren't they? Getting all defensive. Oh, Varane, I love him. He's so great. How can you disrespect him? Anyway, we'll get back into that later. We'll see tomorrow. We're playing him. We've got him, so we'll see, won't we?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, let's talk about Real Madrid before we delve into Chelsea, Connor. Who worries you when you look at that team? I mean, Eden Hazard's back. Is he a worry, even though he's been so poor at Real Madrid, or is there other areas that you're worried about more so?
I think it's hard to say. I think that with his his fitness problems he's been having, Real Madrid don't have quite like the best medical team, and you can see they've kind of handled his injuries a little weird. But yeah, pace merchant. But anyway, you just have to understand, every football fan knows this. Everybody knows this. They can feel it. Eden Hazard, everybody on their team has that X factor that we saw from Mason Mount with his little turn, one touch, beautiful drop the shoulder and score. Everybody has that. So I believe in our defense. I truly do. I trust the back three that I would go with, and I trust Thomas Tuchel in whatever back three he goes with. I think he's going to go more defensive with his right wing backs, even though Chilwell seems to be putting up, better offensive, numbers. But I don't know. Obviously Eden Hazard is gonna worry you. He can take on two guys and then put the ball in the back of your net. Toni Kroos playing in balls is going to be nasty. Modric, veteran players, their defense is just as solid with a little bit of a better pedigree than ours. But I don't know, man. I feel like there's something about the way that Thomas Tuchel can look at a team, identify weaknesses, and identify what strengths we have and play them to that and win. But again, the one thing that can counteract a manager's tactics is that X factor, and a lot of Real Madrid players have it, including Eden Hazard.
Do you know what? I've got a special guest for you guys. It was really hard for me to actually get him on as well. Like, I've struggled to try and get this guy on. There's a lot of explaining that he has to do. Before I bring him on, please smash the like button. Please, let's try and get to 30 likes. Critic's already on nearly 20, so we appreciate that.
Smash it.
Yeah, it's someone that everyone's already been quite reactionary on and said that we have to sell. He's got a lot to answer for. It's Timo Werner. Timo.
You man good, yeah. You man good, yeah.
Yeah, all good, Timo. All good,
I'm in
Timo.
Madrid right now. I'm in my bed. I'm resting tonight. Yeah.
You're resting. Timo, is Tuchel told you that you'll be starting, mate, or are you going to be benched tomorrow?
I think I will be starting tomorrow. I'll be starting tomorrow. But yeah.
He thinks you'll be starting tomorrow. Fair enough. And are you confident going into this game, mate, or have you still got a bit of jitters in your head in terms of being in front of goal? Trying to pull it in the back of the net.
I know some of you guys are worried about my lack of scoring ability, but in big games, don't worry, people. I'll be stepping up, whether you like it or not. Even though
goals coming.
Timo, do Chelsea play to your strengths or not?
Sometimes they do. But I think what we need, I think we're still lacking of the creativity in that final third. But every time they need me inside that final third, I'll be there.
There you go. Big up to Timo Werner. Timo, I hope you get a goal for us tomorrow, mate. If you do start, it will be one of your biggest this season for sure.
Yes.
And yeah, mate. When you get in front of goal, do not hesitate. Yeah, do not hesitate.
Yeah. Will do, sir. Will do.
See you in a bit. Yeah, look, going back to this game. Anyway, we will talk about Timo Werner a bit later because I do want to talk about him. There's been a lot of disrespect to him as an individual. But the thing for me that gets me with this game is I think where it's going to be won and lost is the midfield. I think when you look at Real Madrid's midfield with Modric, Kroos, and Casemiro, yes, it might be a little bit old, but it's very experienced. There's a lot of experience running through that team. They've won it before. We can't underestimate this Real Madrid team. They know how to win a Champions League. They won it back to back to back. We just need to. I do think it is in our hands. If we do turn up, if we can turn up and play like we did against the Atleticos, maybe even to a degree against the Portos, I think we can get the job done. But it's just whether or not. It's just how we perceive ourselves on the game. That's the way I think of it, to be honest. I mean,
I think I agree with you on that, but I feel like, and again, I kind of agree with what Anita was saying on the terrace, is people need to respect our defense just a little bit more. Maybe not for the overall quality of the individual players, but I'm looking at the breakdown of Real Madrid in this year's UEFA and us. And just in their first 3 games, they have conceded more goals in their first 3 games in their Group B stage than we have conceded in the entire UEFA Champions League campaign. And we're playing people like Porto, Atletico, Sevilla. I mean, Reims. I mean, Krasnodar doesn't count. I'll give them that. But, I mean, these guys are playing teams that are from the teams I've never even heard of, and they're scoring, they're conceding so many goals. Even in their most recent games, they played Atlantia in their first leg, and we played Atletico. They played Liverpool in their quarterfinals. So I don't know, man. I think that if the midfield does come unlocked and Conte can't, for some reason, Conte comes out, has a bad performance, Jorginho starts to be that old poor ball retention kind of guy. I think that our defense is going to be able to shield us from a lot of that. That with the right wing, with the fullbacks coming in, Chilwell and Reece. I feel like with that back five, I feel like it's going to take a lot for them to break us down. And I mean, they're a quality side, but yeah, their midfield can definitely do it.
Yeah, I agree. Father, what do you feel like, man? Do you worry about this Real Madrid team, or do you feel like
I'm more worried about their midfield? I can't lie. What they did against Liverpool, especially from that midfield. If you look at how many assists that Toni Kroos having that first leg game,
yeah.
Even though he's been one of the experienced guys, he's a Champions League winner at the end of the day. But my worry for me is that midfield all around. I mean, if we cannot nullify the midfield, I think we're going to have a major problem tomorrow.
Yeah, and I want to talk a bit about Eden Hazard. Obviously, he's past his fit. There's talk that he potentially may even start. He hasn't really performed since he's been, as we know, at Real Madrid. But I don't think he's going to need much ammunition in terms of wanting to turn up against his old team, and it's something that I really hate to see. I'm not going to lie. I'm not enjoying the fact of seeing us play against him or him playing against us in many ways. Because for me, he's one of my favourite, or if the favourite player for me of Chelsea. So I mean, Connor, do you worry about Eden Hazard? Do you think he could be the difference tomorrow?
I mean, it's all up in the air, Again, the Champions League is not like a domestic league. It's not like a domestic cup. I mean, Eden Hazard could probably never, not play any more games the rest of the season in La Liga, but he could put in a shift tomorrow that, gets him a brace or something. That's just that quality and that X factor that Eden has. And I respect that, and I think Chelsea will too. Will he do it or will he not? I don't know. I think it remains to be seen. I think our defense is going to be hard to crack, and I think Reece James playing physical, playing with that pace that he has on his side, I think it's going to be a huge test. And if I'm looking at it like this, I have an out of form, coming off of injury Eden Hazard versus a in form, full fit Reece James, arguably top 3, top 2, the best right back in England. That's going to be, I'm telling you, this is going to be a game to watch 100%. Yeah.
I hear that it is, and I just hope that he doesn't have that game. That one game where he just wakes up.
Yeah, I hope he doesn't. I don't think he'll start personally, but that's just me.
I don't think he will, but if he does, and he does play, and he does wake up, and we know, out of every fan, Chelsea fans know how good he can be on his day. You know that. And Father, are you worried about Eden Hazard tomorrow?
Slightly, maybe because of Eden Hazard got that reputation with us, and I think with Chelsea fans, I think we're more about emotional connection to Eden Hazard. We all know what his reputation at Chelsea Football Club, and even though he hasn't been lived up to his expectation because of the injuries that he suffered for about nearly 2 years or so, and I feel like if he comes on the pitch, there's gonna be a bit, like an emotional connection, It feels like if he scores against us, lots of us going to be, clapping our hands. But at the end of the day, I think, that there's a sense of emotional connection. But I think we'll have to do what we have to do. We have to be professional on the pitch.
Yeah, and viewers, I'm going to ask you the same question, especially if you're a Chelsea fan. Are you worried about coming up against Eden Hazard? Let me know in the chats. Let me have your thoughts. We'll bring them up. We'll highlight them. For me personally, We know what he can bring to a game. We know he's world class. I'm going to continue saying it. Yes, he's been he's been bad since he's been at Real Madrid, but he's, for me, still a top quality player that can, on his own, change a game, especially if it's very tight. He's still 0-0, 70 minutes in. Hazard comes on. He unlocks. He does a 1-2 with Benzema. Skips around one player
Jem?
in the corner. So it can happen.
I feel like we may be wrong. I feel like we might see him start. I'm looking at the all of the fixtures for Real Madrid, and then in La Liga, all the ones that he was injured. And every single time that he was injured, he immediately started after his injury, except for one time. He only sat so far this season. He only sat one game on the bench, and that was against Granada. Last in December. Every single time he's come off injury, he started. And it's the same way in the Champions League. He was injured. He started 3 times. He's injured again. So I think they may start him. I don't know.
Well, if he does, it's something we're going to have to deal with. I think Reece James coming in, hopefully, he could potentially, between him and Aspie, work well. Aspie's played with him before. He knows him in and out. Stopping him's a different story. As he says, obviously Kante will be in there as well. Don't be surprised if he is playing and he is sort of drifting into the middle, that Kante ends up picking him up as well, because he will have to be marked. I see a lot of people saying about Benzema, as well. Well, Palace are 1-0 up, people, by the way, which is massive in the race for third for us anyway. So that's good news to hear.
My question is Kovacic is out. I remember when the first press conference when he was injured. Thomas Tuchel was like we were in training and he picked up a small, he felt something in his muscle, and now he's been out for almost 4 games now. Is there any in-depth update of what happened with him? What sort of muscle strain is causing you know what I mean?
It's not more of a muscle strain. I think it's like a muscle slash hamstring injury. I reckon. Yeah. Remember that warm up before the Porto game, I think he might clocked it a little bit when he's trying to stretch, during a stretch warm up, and then it's unfortunate that I thought he has been one of the players that important this season, and sadly to say it'll be a big miss tomorrow. I don't know how much it'll be, but it's gonna be a huge miss, I reckon. But
it will be, and I agree with that.
I feel like as Chelsea, we hate this feeling where we're so limited in the middle of the field as far as quality player depth. You know what I mean? We've only got 3 right now, and I mean Mason Mount. Granted, he has all the minerals to be world class, but I didn't like him in that midfield role, to be honest. And I don't know, who's next? Billy Gilmore. I mean, I feel like he's an up and coming talent, but I feel like we need more depth there.
Yeah, look. I agree. What we're going to do, people, is we're going to delve into this is more of what I think Tuchel's going to do tomorrow. Let's just have a look. Ignore the colours, but at the moment we've got. This is where I think it's going to be. This is how I think we're going to line up. Obviously, we've got Mendy in goal. I think you'll see him come back in. Rudiger. I want to see Thiago Silva in. I don't want to see Christensen in this game. I know, Lewis. Sorry, mate. But if he's not playing in the middle, I don't want to see him here.
He played really well there, though.
No, but Connor, if Aspie's available, and you're playing Real Madrid, and who would you rather have in that position? Who's been playing there the whole season?
So for me, the reason why they put Christensen there, Thomas Tuchel explained, is the set piece height advantage. Aspie's great. Nobody's denying that. But when it comes to set pieces and when it comes to that tall back line, Aspie does fall and I don't know. For me, I don't care either one. It doesn't matter. I wouldn't cause a riot to see Christensen there. But Christensen is showing his versatility because he had great distribution. He went forward. Aspie goes forward a little bit more, but I don't know. I don't care either one. But Christensen is definitely. I'm just saying,
I just don't think. Go on, Father.
I just think it might sound weird, but I feel like in that Saturday's game, I understand why Tuchel want to put Aspie on the right, and mainly because the game management that Tuchel thought about it as well. And I feel like that right wing back, our two main players, Reece James and Hudson-Odoi. I feel like Tuchel doesn't want to risk those two because of this game, and I will not be surprised if either Hudson-Odoi or Reece James start tomorrow.
I think it's going to be Aspie. I just don't see when you're playing in these type of games. You need experience. You need leaders. One thing that Chelsea lack a lot at the moment is leaders. Christensen coming into this game for me is not a leader. You know, you need someone that's going to be strong. Silva and Aspie for me works. I think that's more of a solid combo. Yeah, Christensen done okay against West Ham, but
I think he did good.
No, I mean the first half he was poor. I'm sorry, he got a yellow card at the end of it. He got a yellow card at the end of the first half, because he was completely out of position. It wasn't
minus the yellow card. He did good.
No, he didn't know whether to come or go. He was never running into the space where like Aspie does to receive the ball and try and excel us forward. We were so slow in the first half. It was boring to watch. Yeah, we were just so predictable. Yeah, and it ain't his fault. I'm just talking about it in general. But I just think Aspie's been playing. If someone's been playing it and it's worked up to now, why do we make things complicated? Why don't we just play the player that's played well there? Why do we have to then try and fit Christensen in there? I don't get it.
It's not about fitting him in. It's just that Christensen is a more defensively solid option than Aspie. He's younger, he's quicker, he's taller, he's more physical, but Aspie does have that leadership aspect, and he does have those going forward qualities. I think Christensen can distribute a long ball better than Aspie, but I think Aspie can bring the ball forward a little bit better. All I'm saying is that I wouldn't mind either one. I think in a game where Toni Kroos and Modric are going to be pinging the ball over constantly, I can just see Aspie doing the double look back as Vinicius Jr. is running past him, and I'm just afraid of that. And for me,
I'm afraid of Eden Hazard running that Christensen, if you want my honest opinion.
But we're going to have James there. And Christensen's...
I'd rather Aspie. Aspie's a better defender standing up on his feet than Christensen one-on-one.
I don't think so.
The guy's well known for it. When it comes to one-on-ones, not diving in, not committing into a tackle, who's good at doing that? Aspie. Christensen has had moments where he's, gone in for a challenge, like try to draw a foul, whatever. He's had his moments, but he's outstanding standing up a player, especially with his length. But hey, I sent you a little link on Twitter. You should watch that. You should watch that. Christensen had a little. It's not that I don't not like Christensen, but for me, Aspie always gets in the team before him. That's my honest opinion.
Yeah, I mean, he probably will. I just see how Tuchel recognizes the Rudiger, Silva, Christensen back three combo, and it worked. I just think that I wouldn't be surprised if he's willing to put Aspie in right wing back to see that happen if he wouldn't do it again somewhere down the line. Do you know what I mean? Because if Aspie gets into this team every single game, why was it that last game he was put as right wing back? And I don't think it was for resting. I think it was because he wanted to see a tall back three, which he said he did. He wanted them to be tall. He wanted them to be able to defend set pieces. So with the ball coming over the top from Modric and Kroos, I don't think it will happen, but I wouldn't be surprised. You know what I mean?
Yeah, fair enough. I've asked the people in the chat, who would you prefer, Aspie or Christensen? Who starts in your opinion? Let's get in the chat. I want to hear your thoughts on that. I want to move into the midfield. The midfield too. Obviously, I think it's going to be quite obvious that Kante comes into this game along next to Jorginho. Obviously, Kovacic has been confirmed out and injured. Is there anything else you two would do with that, or have we just got no choice?
There's nothing else we can do.
It's a no-brainer unless Johnny is here. He wants a Billy Gilmore in that team. But apart from that, there's no brainer in it.
Yeah.
A lot of people saying Aspie. Leicester losing
is a liability. Glinch knows, bro.
I disagree with that comment. Aspie is a liability. I thought he was a liability.
That's ridiculous. Christensen's a liability. It can be a liability as well.
See, I didn't say that.
Disrespect Christensen, bro.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that at all.
You need to go watch the link that I sent you, man. I'm telling you, these defenders, these right backs go unappreciated. Even Aspie, since he's had his little hand injury, has been a monster. But I'm just saying, when Aspie takes the cast off, we might as well. You know what I'm saying? We might want to. I might go break his hand again because Aspie with the cast on has been another man.
So you think it's his injury that's making him play?
Did anybody ever find out what happened? Like, he's had that cast on for the longest.
People, let's get 4 more likes. We're hitting 30, and then the next game is going to be 40. I will be putting a link in the chat after we've gone through this team. We're going to move a bit forward. We've got Reece James and Chilwell as our wing backs. Again,
No other options.
Cho, does Cho come in? Would you want someone that's going to be quite direct and drive with the ball, or would you want James in just to protect Aspie and be solid from the back?
Yeah, I'll go with that. Reece James on the right.
Yeah.
And no brainer as well.
Especially if Eden Hazard's going to be there. I love Cho for his attacking prowess. I'm a Cho stan, but I'm telling you right now, if Cho is on that right side and Eden Hazard starts as a left wing, it is going to be stir fry Wednesday. It is going to be on skates, unfortunately.
Josh, I'm getting fed up. Every time we talk about a Chelsea player or something to do with Chelsea, you say they're crap. You support Arsenal, and you've had Debussy, and you've had Cedric, and you've had Bellerin as your right back. You're not telling me that Aspie's crap, mate.
Bellerin, can you imagine that?
Just give it a break, mate.
Ballerina.
You know what I mean? Embarrassing.
He's
mate.
too busy with his fancy comb over instead of defending, man.
He's in the wrong trade, Connor. He should have been a model. I don't know how he got into football, mate. That's what.
Hey, man, if I have a better comb over him with this headset on,
people, 30 likes. Let's go. We're only 3 away
2 likes.
from 30 likes. Mods, let us know once we're there, and then we're going to try and aim for 40. If you're new to GNA TV, please subscribe as well. Please help the channel get to 1K. We appreciate you much. We will be doing a giveaway. On the Instagram page very, very soon as well once we get there. Moving forward, the front three. This is up for debate.
This is the biggest debate.
You got Pulisic, Mount, and Havertz in it at the moment. I've heard people say Werner and no Pulisic, or Werner and no Havertz, or whatever. I mean, Connor, what would you do?
Okay, so hear me out, right? All right,
Yeah.
do me a favor. Jem, do me this favor real quick, and let me ask you what you think of this. Drag Mount to right above the half circle, right? And then slide Havertz over and bring Pulisic up just a little bit.
Like that.
Slide Havertz over. That right there, that is lethal.
Is that your FIFA team?
No, it's not my FIFA team. I hate to say it. Unfortunately, it's rough for me because I play with all Americans and we're terrible. But that is not my FIFA team. I think that is probably one of the, and I don't know if they watched that breakdown of the not the West Brom game, but the what was the game where Christian had 2, Havertz had 1, and it was who did we play? Do you remember?
Who did we play?
It was
it
was Crystal Palace.
It was Palace.
Yeah, it was Crystal Palace. So for me, with Mount being very technical and Havertz being technical and Pulisic being a dribbler, that kind of front three is so dynamic because Havertz isn't really the false 9. He has more freedom to distribute the ball. Mount, as we've been seeing these last games, he's taking a lot of open shots and there's been a lot of free-flowing play between him and the wingers. This allows them the freedom to do whatever they want on the pitch. You know what I mean? Respectively to what they each are good at. Christian can drive directly. Havertz can give and receive the ball and hold it up. Mount can continue to do his maestro thing. So for me, with their solid back three, I don't think it's going to be as simple as put Havertz up front, he holds up the ball, Mount strikes, and we win. I think it's going to take some sort of creativity to get through, and I feel like that's the most creative three that we have.
We've got Timo Werner below here, who obviously disagrees. Who's the front three, mate? Are you in it?
I have to be in it. What are you talking about? We need pace on top. Pace on top. We got Varane Militao.
Right,
we need pace on top to stretch their defense.
So who comes off for you?
I'll take off Havertz and then take off Mount as well since Johnny's not here.
Werner. He's coming, Johnny. You might understand. Werner.
And then I'll take off
Mount.
Take off Mount for Zia because Johnny's not here. But yeah.
There you go, Johnny. If you're in the chat, mate. No Mason Mount. Who disagrees with that team? That right there, that Timo Werner father put out.
I disagree.
Ziyech, Pulisic, and Timo Werner to start tomorrow. Who are your front three people, viewers? Tell us. Who is your front three to start against Real Madrid tomorrow. I want to know. So we've got Werner, Mount, Havertz is what. I mean, that could work if Havertz and Werner. If Werner was playing sort of like a second striker off Havertz, maybe, or if they played how Connor said, where they're both up front. And, do you know what I mean? And you play Mount behind them, maybe, but it might be too attacking. I don't know. But yeah, Real Chris is saying Werner. Shilio's saying Mount, Havertz, Werner. My honest opinion, I would go Mount, Pulisic, Havertz.
Well, we know Pulisic is going to start. No one has ever taken the presser and not started. So
to be honest, he shouldn't. He doesn't deserve to start after his performance against West Ham. He had a stinker, didn't he? Let's be serious. So, yeah, if anything, Ziyech might come in for him. Ziyech might come in for him if Werner's playing. Don't be surprised because Ziyech and Werner play well with each other.
Yeah, they both link up really well. That's why.
I know they do. They actually do. Some weird reason.
I don't know. I feel like Ziyech is that X factor, that creative. All right, hear me out, Jim. Hear me out.
Sure.
They were saying on the terrace that Ziyech needs time to adjust his decision making to the Premier League because it's quick close down, it's physical. He doesn't have a lot of time to think and be that maestro. I feel like Ziyech coming into a 30-minute game or a 20-minute left like appearance or cameo gives him that time to be amongst tired players and have all the time that he needs not playing a Premier League side to make those decisions and to be able to create in space. I feel like if he starts, there's a chance of him, getting bullied around. I hope he doesn't. But for me personally, I will take whatever team Thomas Tuchel puts out. It's up to him. But
yeah. I think we've got the one thing I will say about it is we have got to trust Tuchel. What Tuchel's done up to now has worked, and even when we have questioned him in the past and we've won games, we've been like, oh wow, we actually got performances out of certain individuals in that team. If that means Christensen starts over Aspie tomorrow, then I have to back it. Like I've got, it's not who I would choose, but it gets them playing to, getting them playing to a standard where it seems to be getting the best out of these individuals. Then fine. It's just such a big game tomorrow, and we have to get it. Every little bit of detail has to be bang on. Attention to detail is important tomorrow. And where it will be won and lost for me is the midfield. I keep saying it. It will be the midfield. And Kante is going to, for me, Kante is going to have to be a 9/10 out of 10 tomorrow. That's how good we're going to need him to be tomorrow. For
me, though, if you go like I said, and it doesn't even have to be Pulisic. It can be I want to see Havertz, and if it's a Werner, Havertz. If it's a Ziyech, Havertz. If you keep Mount in the middle, right above the pivot, that I feel like that is where Mount literally flourishes. He can help the pivot. He can create. He can bring the ball forward. I personally think he has to be right in front of that pivot. And if he isn't, if they do like a Pulisic Mount side by side and Werner up top, or a Ziyech Mount side by side, I think what's going to happen is Mount is going to naturally drift to that middle of the park, top of the pivot outlet for Chelsea. And I feel like that breakthrough pass, that breakthrough outlet is what is going to be key in building our attacks going forward. Because, Chelsea, we like to build from the back or build off possession.
Yeah, and not just that, Connor. I think we need to move the ball quick. I think against West Ham in the first half, it was so predictable, man. We were so sideways, backwards.
I'm just saying, who's one of the fastest dribblers out there? Captain America, man, can spin him.
But at the same time, it looks like he's got roller skates on his feet, and he just loses. Like, he'll dribble with the ball, and he'll just completely lose it. And I'm like,
what do you mean? He was the assist. He was the assist before the assist in West Ham.
If the master starts tomorrow with dribbling, yeah, and Pulisic is on the pitch, you're going to see the differences in terms of dribbling levels. Yeah, because if Hazard's on the pitch, yeah, all right, you're going to see.
Hazard is a proven world-class player. Christian Pulisic is 22, bro. Give him some time. Of course, there's going to be a difference between Eden Hazard and Christian Pulisic, but he's not in our team. So I think honestly, I would love to see Ziyech. I don't care. I mean, Werner can run into the half spaces. I think Havertz would be good for the creative play with Mount. I'll trust whoever. I want all of our forwards, especially with Werner just scoring, I want all of our forwards to be firing and on form together. Ziyech just scored a couple. Pulisic just scored a couple. Mount scored a couple. Havertz just scored a couple. So if we can just keep building that chemistry, I personally don't mind whoever starts.
Yeah, there you go. Real Chris has joined us as well. Real Chris, what you saying, bro?
How are you guys doing anyway? I ain't spoke to you in a while, Jam.
Yeah, not bad, bro.
Welcome.
Yeah.
How you feeling about tomorrow's game, mate? Like, are you worried?
I'm not worried. Okay, I'm a little bit worried about Benzema, but that's about it because like I've seen the injuries they have, like it's a few.
Yeah.
Like their defense ain't as strong. I believe they are a good defense anyway. I've seen their defensive record anyway. Like they are solid this year. They do set up well too. So, I think if we get an early goal, I believe we can maybe coast the game because I believe how strong our defense is, and I don't fear Vinicius Junior at all. I don't. He had a fluky moment at Liverpool because Liverpool play a high line. I don't fear him. So yeah, like they don't have much of attack. They only have Benzema. So yeah, I'm pretty confident for this game. Like I know a lot of Chelsea fans ain't because it's Madrid, and yeah, I do respect Madrid. They are a good team. Like so
Yeah.
that's
What are your thoughts on Eden Hazard as well to returning against us? Yeah, you're worried about him.
I don't think he's actually going to start this game. I can't see. He's just got back from injury. He played 10 minutes and he did play pretty well. But if he does start, I think it shows how desperate Madrid are. And I wouldn't really. I think he is a good player, but like he's been through many injuries the past year or two. And yeah, like I don't fear as much because he ain't got the sharpness, the match sharpness or nothing, has he? Like he isn't going to be like well drilled in.
Did you see the training clips of him banging like the balls in the top corners and that, and everyone was like, "Oh my god, I'm scared!" Like
it's training.
Yeah.
We've seen our like Chelsea boys do really well at training, and then go next game and stink it up. It's it's training end of the day. Like they're having fun. It's no pressure. I believe this is Chelsea's. Like I said, you know me, I've been saying it for months now. We're winning Champions League. It's destined to get to the final. I can't see Madrid beating us. So, yeah, I'm not fearing them.
Wow, I haven't got that confidence like you, Chris. Wow.
Well, apparently I fart rainbows, so.
I'm shocked. I'm shocked of what you're saying, but yeah, jeez.
You just not got that confidence, yeah. You gotta have that confidence if we beat them, like into the final.
I mean, I understand from your perspective. If you want to beat the best, you gotta beat the best. But at the same time, you have to be realistic as well. And yeah, Real Madrid hasn't been, living up to their standards ever since they last won the European Cup 3 years ago. Ever since then, yeah, they had that lapses, lost to Ajax 4-1, and then I think last season as well. And yeah, they have been quietly under the radar for about nearly 3 years. And up until this moment, even though people not quite clocked on them that much, I still think that they are more dangerous side than they used to be. But yeah.
They are a good side. They got experience. Yeah.
Yeah. People, the link is in the chat. Please smash that like button. Let's aim for 40 likes. Come and have your say. I want to know your thoughts on the game. I want to talk about Timo Werner, guys. Yeah, let's talk a little bit about Mr. Timo. Timo Werner.
Mr. Timo Werner.
Timo Werner.
Look, talking about the West Ham game, like I thought he was quite good. He won us the game in many ways because he got the goal. It was a good goal because not just because people saw it as a tap in, it was the flick and everything, the movement, and then he got into the box and scored it. And I know he missed a good chance and stuff, but he just kept going. He didn't seem like it bothers him. I want more chances. I want to shoot more. Just give me it. He didn't really care. So I'm hoping he has the same attitude and just keeps going for it and maybe gets a goal or something for us at least. Because he does perform in these big games, and we've seen it this season.
I will say, though, that I think that it will be easier to score against Real Madrid than people think. They have already conceded 10 goals in the Champions League, and Chelsea have only conceded in all Champions League competitions this season. And then Chelsea have only conceded 3. So I feel like if anything, Real Madrid are known for their attacking and their midfield prowess. I don't think people are like comparing on social media Real Madrid to being as defensively strong as Chelsea are. And that's not the case at all. People need to respect our defense a little bit more. And I'm not saying that we're going to score loads of goals against Real Madrid, but I don't think that they're this unpregnable force where they have, the most resolute back line that, in La Liga or in the Champions League. I think that we can score against them.
Yeah,
There you go.
I definitely agree. What about you guys?
Yeah.
What team over on the right to my side?
Scott's in the house. Scott, how you doing, mate? You alright?
Yeah, I'm alright, Jim. Do you not think, but like we should play Werner on the left and Havertz on like false nine and Mount on the right? That's who I would go for front three.
What? As in Werner is in the left of the front three? You're talking about, not as
Yeah,
a
yeah,
winger.
yeah.
Yeah, I think it's possible. I don't mind Werner playing off a false nine like Havertz. I think that's where we probably get the best out of him. I don't really like seeing him play up front on his own in isolation in certain games, especially when we're at home and we play against low block teams, because they don't come out. There's not the space for him to make that run. Do you know what I mean? And I don't know. I think if he's a bit deeper and he can link, I know people moan about him, his ball control and his IQ levels and crap and whatever. But for me, if he's playing off someone, I think you'll see better of him. But yeah, I wouldn't say no to it. If Tuchel went with Werner with Havertz up front and Werner off him, and then maybe a Mount next to him, I'd be like, all right, cool, why not? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I know Connor wouldn't be happy because he'd want Pulisic on the team. But
No, I want any team that's gonna win. I don't like I said, if it was Ziyech, Havertz, Mount or whatever, I just don't see Werner. I don't see Werner beating out any wingers for starting in winger positions anymore. I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't think Werner offers the same skill set that a Ziyech offers, that a Pulisic offers, that any of the wingers, even a Hudson-Odoi, to be honest. He doesn't have the technical ability. He doesn't have the dribbling. And Timo should be thinking, like, we bought him as a striker. He should be thinking to score goals, not to assist and score second, even though he's doing that. But at the end of the day, I'll trust whatever team or whatever front three Tuchel goes with. But I don't know. I just want to win, honestly.
I think we all want to win, yeah. Every Chelsea fan should want to win. I'm open that.
That's the difference between like me as a Christian Pulisic fan compared to like people who are fans of other players in the team. If someone told me you can make it through to a Champions League, final, but Christian Pulisic has to sit the bench both games against Real Madrid, I would probably pay $50 for it. Honestly, I would pay for it. I wouldn't care. But some people would like to sacrifice the team's well-being for their players, and it's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear that. And to me, I'm a Timo Werner fan. I do like him, but if he's not playing, no biggie for me. Like, he's a good impact. He can be a good impact player or something like that. Like, I want the best for the team, and like if we go through without him, that's fine. Like, it's not going to make me cry. It's going to make me happy because I have a strong feeling we're going to win it this year, and I'm hoping I'm right.
Christian off the bench is a massive impact. I would say one of our best players, like offensive wise, off the bench is Christian. So if there's somebody that's performing or in better form than him, whether it be Werner, whether it be Ziyech, whoever the case may be, play them. And then when everybody's tired, or we reach the 70th, 75th minute, and everybody's aghast, or someone's been subbed, and we need fresh legs to run into those spaces, bring Christian on. That's a perfect fit.
We have 5 subs to use anyway.
We do, and that's something that might come in. I mean, the 5 sub rule works for us. It doesn't work for us specifically in the centre of the midfield, but especially from sort of the wing backs, maybe defender. We need to tighten it up.
I hate to say it, but the game is going to fall on Jorginho, Kanté, and Mount's shoulders. I mean, obviously, the people who are taking the chances need to finish them, but driving that ball from the back line, from the turnover, because Kanté is good at getting the ball back, Jorginho is good at closing down passing lanes. The game is going to rest on Jorginho and Mount and Kanté's ability to stop, receive, and then move the ball forward up the pitch, either through the middle or through the wing. So it's going to have to be a masterclass game for any of those three for us to be able to get a positive result. And then obviously the strikers need to – it's going to be a massive game for everybody, but the real importance is going to be on the midfield.
1-1 Leicester and Crystal Palace as well, people. I think they've just got back into the game. So 1-1 in that one as well. Big up to Manny, who's here as well. God, what is this? Hi, Jen. Where is that handsome man, Timo Werner? Like, what is this scummy bear?
What is that pitch? I'm zooming in.
That hurts.
Who is that?
I don't know, man. It's
Gummy
me with
bear,
some woman's head. God knows. I can't really explain it. But
Coming
Yeah.
You
back
have some
to-
strange fans out there.
It's cool. It's cool. Please keep
Yeah,
smashing
yeah,
that
yeah.
like button. Please subscribe if you're
Follow
new
the
here.
socials, smash it,
What-
smash
what-
the like button.
This is my next question for you guys. What did Chelsea? What would be the best result for Chelsea? And do you think if we don't win tomorrow, and say it's a 0-0, would you still be
I'd rather
confident
not.
going into the game at home with them?
I would rather take a
it-
1-0 or a 2-0.
It
Not
would be
at all.
hard if it's
Not at
0-0,
all.
but
It'll be a different game in the second leg, and who knows, their main players could be back by a second leg. I do feel tomorrow's game is a bit more important, just because we're trying to get that away goal, and also we're trying to solidify like we did against Atletico in the last 16.
I agree with that.
So do you think Chelsea
uh,
need to get? Do you think Chelsea need to get at least an away goal
Yeah.
to take?
Yeah,
Yeah.
1 or 2. 1 or 2.
An away goal will be good though.
Crucial.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Connor, what do you think,
yeah,
bro?
yeah.
I mean, I hate to sit here and say that we'll go 90 minutes tomorrow, 90 plus minutes without Chelsea scoring a single goal. I feel like, and this is where I put a lot of credit on our manager. I just feel we're going to be set up in a way that's going to be defensively sound. And I feel like when Real Madrid try to get that, I don't know. I don't see them sitting back. So I feel like we're going to have opportunities to expose them and catch them on the counter or go into those wide areas. I don't know. I feel like it's hard to say that we're going to go 90 minutes without a goal tomorrow. And hopefully it's for Chelsea rather than Real Madrid, because an away goal would be huge. If we get an away goal tomorrow and they don't score, I think we make it through 100%, because one of the biggest things Chelsea are good at is taking your style of gameplay away from you and forcing you to play uncomfortably. And if they go to Stamford Bridge and they try to come after us for one of their away goals, they're going to be left so vulnerable. And like I said, they've already conceded 10 goals so far through the Champions League, and we've only conceded 3. So at that point, it's a bet on defense. And I don't know. I have faith in our back line.
Well, this is the thing, isn't it? We defend well. We don't concede goals, and that's something that we're going to need to work for us tomorrow as well. I know there's this big talk about Varane. It seems like I've set off Twitter about gunning Varane. Everyone's like gone mad about it.
I would take him.
Would you not take Koundé? Would you not take Koundé?
I'd
I would
rather
take
not.
Koundé.
I'll take Koundé, but I got shot for saying I'd choose Koundé over Varane. It's like everyone's pulling out their hairs. They're like,
How
oh,
old is
Not a real
Koundé?
shock,
How
really.
old is
With
Koundé?
Koundé's 21.
Koundé's 22 or
See, this is the
22.
problem.
21.
Yeah, I thought he's young. I'd rather a more experienced player because we're buying too many youngsters at the minute, and for me, I want a bit of an older player to come into Chelsea. We have so many youngsters in our team, so for me, Varane
to grow
over
with
Koundé.
them,
No, but I feel like we just need some experience in our team. Well, older players, I would say. That's about it. Like, I think Varane's a brilliant player. Like, especially if he has like an alpha by him, like a
Yeah,
Thiago
but
Silva.
Varane ain't a
Probably
leader,
Thiago
though.
Silva, yeah.
You need
Thiago
a
Silva,
leader.
Is Koundé a leader?
No, Koundé ain't a leader.
But that's my point then. What's the difference?
Yeah, no, that's the problem. If you're getting Varane, you need a leader next to him.
You need a leader
Like,
next to Koundé.
yeah, you have Thiago Silva, but he's only going to be there for 1 year.
I feel like players, like leadership is not something that like a striker either is a striker or he isn't. I feel like leadership in a way can be taught. Like I feel like Mason Mount, I could see him in the next year or 2 years being a good leader. I don't know. I'm a person where I don't believe in buying leadership and buying talent. I think that Chelsea can go out and find someone to complement this young team that is 20 to 23 that maybe is lacking that leadership aspect that can be taught, especially like, because you got to think, maybe we sell Thiago Silva and then we bring him in directly after, or maybe he's here with Thiago Silva. So you can already see Christensen and Rudiger starting to learn little key things and picking up from training from Aspi, from Thiago, from other experienced players, and that experience can be passed on and someone can be made a leader. I know it's a gamble, but I don't believe in like trying to buy ready-made players because Ziyech is supposed to be a ready-made player. I'm not trying to say Ziyech. I'm not trying to say he's terrible or he's a flop, but like ready-made players, it's a gamble thinking that they're going to adjust and have the same impact that they're having before at their old teams, and they're going to have that same impact here. That's just my personal opinion. I would search for somebody younger.
the thing is, Connor, we have a lot of youngsters. Look, you think of Havertz, Pulisic, Mount. We're filled with youngsters. We need to stop now and buy experience. Like we need. And the thing about Varane is that people say like Sergio Ramos holds his hand. You could say that sometimes, but the guy has won it all at Real Madrid, and sometimes when you won it all, you kind of lack that motivation. You're just on cruise control. I think a new challenge, a new league would rejuvenate. Look at Lingard. He sat at home for Man U, and then he moved. He got a different scenery and moved to West Ham and started, doing his madness. But Varane is just like the perfect player. We need to go with experience now. Tuchel, we have a lot of young players around that, and we're going to grow with them. We have Mount, Pulisic, Havertz. I mean, even Werner's like 25. I know Ziyech hasn't hit it off, but I cut him some slack for his first season. Who else?
Yeah, I think he's going to be great. I just think that like
you got Reece James, bro.
Reece James is a monster.
They're all young. We need those Thiago Silvas because as you've seen when we had like the transfer ban and we would play like certain teams and it's just like they didn't know how to handle certain situations because they haven't been in them yet. You know what I mean? And this is the thing when we're playing Real Madrid right now. This is the only thing I could see that can carry Real Madrid through is the fact that they have the know-how. They know. We've been there and done that. But
here's the thing, like, can I say something? Here's something we said about if I was Chelsea, I would go for either Marquinhos or Kimpembe of
they're not going to sell them.
So
but you have the money to get.
So here's my question, right? So when we start talking about like experience, and how it relates to quality, I think that like so how experienced do we say this team is now? Like the squad that we have now, every player that's in it, aside from the new signings, made it to a round of 16 last year, and then they're now at a semifinal this year. And if we go back to Champions League again, like competing in Champions League, is it based off like how many games you've played? Like for experience, is it winning? Because for me, I'd rather have someone with quality that's young, that is getting these games at a young age, rather than Varane, who's I feel like has been boosted by the quality that's around him. For people that are gained, like, you know what I'm saying? Like this is experience. Like if you watch the presser they had today, they asked Thomas Tuchel and they both asked Christian Pulisic, how do you feel this young team is going to perform in a semis? And they say, we've played Champions League games before. We've been here. We've been to the round of 16. We're now at a semis. Next year, if we get top 4, like at what point, like what experience is considered good and not good enough? You know what I mean? Because I'd rather have the young quality than Varane. You know what I mean? That's my question.
I do hear you on the young talent, but like, I feel like Tuchel does need some like older players to help him out, like to win these like big trophies as well. Like, I feel like, well, I've seen Chelsea's history. We've always needed experience. Maybe we didn't have this much youngsters. It's all exciting, but I just want a little bit more older players, just a few more. Not like I'm still happy with all the youngsters like Mason Mount, Pulisic. Who else is there? Christian's well, no, he's not even that young, is he? Who else is young?
Christian's kind of a youngster. He's 24.
Like, okay, 24. Werner just turned 25. Kai Havertz is 21.
Werner's 25.
Yeah,
he's just turned 25. He's just turned 25.
25. Yeah, he's just turned.
Yeah.
So for my thing, we've got Aspi, we've got Giroud, we've got Thiago Silva, we've got Jorginho, we have like
we have got Kante and stuff. Yeah,
we've got Kante. Like I feel like we have experience.
Varane is 28 as a CB.
I've always liked Varane in a way.
And he has pace, he has height, he has he has all the attributes. And you see, like when Thiago Silva plays next to like a Rudiger and Christensen, he makes them look so much better. But when he's not in the team, they just end up looking, I don't know, there's a mistake in them. Like when Thiago Silva plays next to Zuma, I'm less worried. But when Zuma's like next to Christensen, I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, but Varane also has a mistake in him as well.
You're saying that lately. We're not gonna sit and act like Varane hasn't been quality for majority of his career. This is just the past 2 years.
No, we're not denying that he's quality.
Ever since. But I'm saying that's what I'm saying. It's when he's won everything. So now he moves to a new league. He has new motivation to win the Premier League. Those stuff matter, man. When you have it's just you need that fresh. That's why a lot of players kind of move on for certain teams. It's like I need a new challenge. You kind of get complacent. and that's what happens. Like, you won the Champions League like freaking 4 times. He messes up against City. That team is like, all right, we won this 4 times. Like, now he's come to the Premier League. All right, I want to win I want to prove myself. I want to win the Premier League. I want to go out and show. He's gonna have that concentration.
Yeah. I just don't think.
I don't think I personally don't think Varane is a good complement to what we're trying to build with a new coach, young players, style of game. I think that you can buy either just below experience, right, with a little bit younger of a player that you can keep and mold into that locker room leader, that dressing room leader, than trying to pay out this massive fee for a guy who is quality, but like, it's like you participate in a group project and you weren't, you know what I mean? Like,
but are you trying to win trophies?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm not trying to win him with Varane. I'm not.
But what age are you looking at? Like
24, 20, like Christian around.
like-
no, I'm not Christensen, but around his age.
Oh,
I don't
so
know that.
like
I'm not a Chelsea scout. I don't have like a
But
logbook.
do you know what it is,
like
Connor?
a Pau Torres
No,
or
it's
Rio.
I'll be straight up with you. The quality in terms of defending has dropped. Like, who's better than Varane at the moment? Like, in terms of like the talents produced.
The Sunbacks have dropped in quality.
Yeah, there is.
What they used to be.
Defense has dropped in
I'm
that.
telling you right now that the difference in defense and attacking is you can't, without repercussions, stack the opposition's box up with players to try and score a goal. How you can overload your box. You can have a system. You can have center. You can have a DM that can come in and complement your defense. You can have a Conte that can help relieve pressure. You can have a back three where you can have Varane next to a Ramos, and now your defense is elevated, or Varane's quality is elevated. I feel like for Chelsea, it's a striker, a midfielder, probably another midfielder, and then a center back before we start looking at what to improve for trophy. What is our defense doing? Like, our defense is conceding less goals than anybody else right now.
Listen, can I just say something? Do we need when it's so funny, I've triggered so many people about this Varane thing, yeah. But the truth is this, right? We haven't conceded goals. Yes, we may concede goals. Maybe Tuchel's system will get found out. Maybe he will need to adapt and try something different. Have we got the players for it? Maybe not. But why can't our scouts just go out and do their fucking job for once instead of us always looking at the next big name? The problem we've got this day and age is that when you look at defenders in general, the level of defenders is fucking shit. Let's be serious.
Do you not think that we'll change into a back four next season?
That's what I'm saying. Like, our defenders.
Like
the
Varane
reason-
and Thiago, the back wouldn't be bad, would it?
That's what I'm saying. That's what.
Yeah, but you need to look for
wants to
longevity.
play.
We're gonna have the old folks home in the back, dude, holding it
You
down
need
for
to
the
look
next
at-
4
you know
years.
what the problem is? I personally want, like, as well as striker, but I'll put centre back as second priority, because the last thing we want is a similar situation in the Champions League with West Brom, whereas the alpha male goes, all of a sudden the players start panicking in defence and we start leaking goals. Like, if we had a team like the Chelsea in 2012 or any period Chelsea that was a decade ago, if we went a man down in Champions League, you'd still be confident that we'll hold it out throughout the end. With this team, if the alpha male goes like a Thiago Silva, we are screwed. That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying, Hassan. Through the tough times.
Yeah, but
whenever
Varane is
we've
not
been-
going to be a
Hold on. Whenever we've been successful, we've always had that core, like Lampard, Drogba, Terry, to carry. Even if the managers get sacked, they're still that core team can manage itself because the experience that they have. You know what I mean? So I understand that we're
Here
building.
comes the bomb. Here comes the
So
bomb.
here's my opinion, right? I'm looking at the Champions League this year, and Chelsea have conceded 3 goals. I'm looking at Real
look at
Madrid's
the
first game
formation,
in the Group B stage. Varane's at the back, 2 goals conceded. Gladbach, Varane's at the back, 2 goals conceded. We go to Shakhtar, Varane at the back, they lose 2-0. They concede a goal against Atlanta. They conceded a goal against Liverpool. Why is it that we need to bring in this quality, he's won everything player when our defense that we have now is conceding less goals than this quote-unquote guy?
Can I say?
Wait.
So we change
I
our
wanna-
system for Varane? Hey, Chelsea's long-term plan is we buy Varane and we change our whole defensive structure for him. That makes no sense.
No, I'm saying with Real Madrid, yeah. like in us, we was better structured in our defense than Real Madrid, I believe. Like, I don't think Real Madrid was that, like, they're probably playing a high line and
And
stuff, knowing them.
They play more
Knowing
expensive.
Real Madrid. I haven't
over
watched
the
Real
last
Madrid,
few years, over the
but I
last
know
few
they can
years,
play a high line.
But
Yeah, they're
Connor,
expensive
Connor,
football.
wouldn't you say though, like what about if you bring Varane into that back three? So like instead of taking him out,
I think
No,
that
that's not
Chelsea
good.
are
That's
not
not
looking to buy Varane. Like I know that there's talks and there's been linked, but if I'm Chelsea and I'm looking at my squad and like I don't know how to say his name. Xavi C said that we're contending for trophies. My priority list is a striker. My priority list is the midfield.
I agree.
So
Same
with
for
the
me, yeah.
defense, with this defense conceding less goals than almost any team in Europe in the past
I'm
15
not saying
fixtures,
that though.
why are we so concerned with our defense right
We
now?
need a CDM and
It's
we need a top
it's
striker.
because Connor, this is the same defense last year with the worst defensive record in Chelsea's Premier League history.
And with a
Yeah,
back four.
last year with a different system and a different manager. That has no weight to it at all. What you just said,
Connor,
zero
No,
weight.
but I'm
Connor,
just saying
Connor.
one.
Do you believe like our attack is like we're not scoring as much goals, except for the CP? I know everybody's gonna bring that CP. We're not scoring that much goals because we're playing that 3-5-2. Tuchel knows the moment we go to a back four, we don't look secure and we look like out of place. So he has to play that formation with the personnel we have. But we get somebody who can play in a back four. We get a CDM and a top striker. We now play expansive football while implementing Tuchel's style. He does. Like we can adapt to the back, the three at the back. But when he has his players, he wants to be more flexible in his formation. You feel me? So that's what I'm saying.
I don't feel you because I haven't sat down with Tuchel and discussed what his future formations and plans with Chelsea are. All I know is that he likes to play possession-based, defensive-based through PSG, through Dortmund football, and I don't see him playing this overloaded midfield, three up front, attacking, free-flowing football.
Not all the time. But when we play,
so now we're gonna buy Varane and change the formation for a circumstance.
The Brighton team. I'm talking about your argument of like, we've been sold solid. The reason why we've been sold solid is because we have to play that formation and it works. I get that, but like teams like when we play like a Brighton who sit back are like teams that camp the bus. We don't need five at the back. It hurts us in the midfield.
They almost scored against us.
I'm saying we don't need it. Our attack suffers.
But they almost scored against us. So if we'd have had one more person and we'd have been caught on that opening middle play right there where they hit the crossbar.
That was a mistake, though. That was a mistake that we had.
Okay, but we had that extra person to cover for it.
Our formation, like we could use the extra body in midfield. We could use to create. We could put that game to bed early. Like
none of us. Yeah, I agree with what you're saying. I hear you. And Varane is a quality player. And like you said,
I'm off that Varane topic. Like I know you don't like him, bro. I'm off
No. He's a great player. It's not that I dislike him. I just think that Chelsea, from the way Thomas Tuchel has played at PSG, at Dortmund, and at Mainz, his style of football is never going to be this Barcelona, Real Madrid, this free-flowing scoring. He plays possession-based. Making you play out of your game, defensive possession-based football, and he prefers being able to build out of the back. So
that's defensive. I can understand possession-based.
Did you just call Christmas?
His teams are like, you look at Dortmund when they had like Aubameyang and Dembele and
those are counter-attacking players. Those flourish off defensive possession-based games.
You never saw Dortmund how they used to keep it and how their
possession-based game.
But you're saying it's defensive. Right. You're not saying it's fierce in attack, bro. They're fair. Thomas Tuchel's team score a lot of goals.
Guys,
that's okay. You can score off of this.
Anyway, I get it. It's a good debate to have. It is definitely a good debate to have. Johnny boy, Blue is in the house. Johnny, I've triggered so many people on Twitter about Varane, mate. Everyone's going mad.
I saw your tweet,
Johnny. There's a bit of a breaking news, by the way.
What?
Mason Mount's actually going to be sold this season.
Yeah.
Don't make me go get my helmet, man.
Johnny, on a serious level, Timo Werner up here, he put Mason Mount on the bench for tomorrow. Said he doesn't think he should start, and that's Ziyech, Werner, and Havertz should start.
Yeah, I think Timo's going to be on the bench.
What a goal!
Hey.
I think Timo will be
What are
on
you
the
talking
bench.
about? On the bench? Are you mad, fam?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why?
Johnny,
No,
you're
no,
copying.
but
You're
Johnny,
copying, Johnny.
wouldn't you save him for the second half? If you understand what I'm saying, like if Timo or Kai Havertz doesn't work out in the first, you put him out for the second.
I would start with Pulisic, Havertz, and Mount, and then second half, depending on how the game's going, I would look to bring on probably a Ziyech.
Not Timo Werner?
By the way,
if
Ziyech did a madness against
Johnny,
Real Madrid last
Johnny,
season.
you said it.
hold
You
on.
want Werner up front.
No, I said, look, I can see Werner or Pulisic on the left, one or the other, with Havertz and Mount.
What a
And
goal.
whoever's playing, I think Ziyech will come on. More than likely, well, I don't know, man. You don't take Mount off. It depends how the game goes. It depends how the game goes. I personally would stick up with
Johnny,
what's
how do you
working.
think the
I don't
game's
think
going to go
Mount comes
tomorrow?
off either.
Anyway, how do you think the
I
game's
can't
going to go
be-
tomorrow?
How do I think the game's going to go? I think it's going to be a very tight game. I think I don't fear Real Madrid as much as everyone else seems to be
Nor do I.
fearing them.
Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, if we turn up and we show them a bit of not grit isn't the right word. I'd say a bit of aggression.
Yeah.
We show them a lot of aggression, and as long as we press or put pressure onto Modric and Cruz, who basically will want to control the game and control the midfield. If you stop them feeding the Viniciuses, the Benzemas, and the Rodrigos, they're not going to be too threatening, I feel. But you can always get caught out with them, so you have to be very, very on the ball with them. I know they're an age inside, but they're still threatening. But
yeah, and
we should have enough energy in the middle of the park. I feel if you play Mount and Havertz can alternate and drop a bit deeper to aid your Jorginho and Kante to pack out the midfield to stop their three from playing. And the moment we do get possession of the ball, we have to be very, very precise, make sure we hold it, and then attack and break and control the game. I think it's going to be a battle of the midfields. So I don't see it being like Chelsea possession throughout the whole game, and then Real Madrid just looking for that counter play. I think they will look to have some sort of possession as well. So it's going to be sort of like quite balanced. I feel we'll both have a bit of possession. It's who does what with it, who's more clinical with it and purposeful, and who can press better and break up each other's play. That's what it's going to be down to. Because Real Madrid don't really press that hard. So they will sit a bit. And they know we're going to press them more than likely. So they'll be looking to try and break our press somehow. And that's when they'll launch their Vinicius's... Benzema's slow, but he's more of a positional player. So you'll be looking at Vinicius down. They'll look to the flanks. Similar to the Porto game, they'll try and pack out the middle of the park against us and then hit us on the wings. Sorry, we were playing against Porto. Porto packed out the middle, and our only outlet was through our wing-backs. Well, it's going to be a similar game for Modric and Kroos. They're going to look to feed their wingers and attack that way, and then cut in, cross, whatever. Because I think Asensio might play, and he's a very technically gifted player.
Are you worried about Eden Hazard? Anyway, if he's
always.
I don't think he's going to play.
He's ready.
I think there's a good chance.
I don't think he'll start.
He's going to come on. He's going to come on.
If he starts, he's not ready to start.
He'll definitely start the second leg. I assure you, he'll start the second leg.
Second leg he will.
But the first leg.
What was his injuries? Were they muscle injuries?
He's getting all sorts of injuries.
Yeah, had a muscle
Real
injury.
Madrid's physio team sucks.
Yeah, they do. They really.
Guys,
they really are bad.
The first leg, he will more than likely come on second half.
Yeah.
Or if he does start, he's not going to play the full 90. So, you know, it's one or the other. You start him or you bring him on. I think we can control Hazard. It's not the Hazard as we know.
Yeah.
But he's always dangerous. He's
Yeah,
always going to be dangerous.
Exactly, and he can in a game that's really tight and there's not many goals in it. If he starts or he don't or he comes on, it just needs that one bit of magic from him, and he is world class. Right, he has been shit around you, but he's still world class, and he doesn't need no ammunition to come to Chelsea and not want to play. He will want to play. You know what I mean? He will want to turn up in this game. So, you know, you cannot condone that he won't hurt us. Him, Benzema can be a problem. I don't think, other than that, I don't really, Vinicius, is he a worry? Do we worry about him if he's starting with this?
Yeah, you do. No?
What?
I think you worry about his pace.
A fluke game
Vinicius is dangerous.
But you know what it is, right?
He's a
What's he
he's a
dangerous
tricky
at?
player.
His
He's
pace
tricky-
is running behind.
He's got a bit. He's got a bit of a talent in him, but like I don't fear him. Like he's not this good
If
for
you-
Real Madrid normally anyway. In that
But
Liverpool
I'll
game.
tell you where you might get caught with him is if we are say we've pressed them, we've pegged them back, and we lose the ball. Whatever reason, we lose the ball, and it lands to a Modric or a Kroos. The first thing they will look to do is ping a ball into space.
Long balls. Long balls.
And Vinicius will more than likely play on the left, and that'll be against Aspilicueta and James. So James has either got to be on him all the time to keep up with him, and then needs the support of either Christensen or an Aspilicueta who's going to be on that right side of the defence. Or if he switches to the other side, it'll be a Chilwell.
By the way,
and a
wait,
Rudiger.
Johnny.
And he has great hold-up play, by the way. He is really good.
Oh, yeah.
He's a bit of a bottle job though in the final third. I'd say. I wouldn't say he's complete. He's not the complete
can't shoot.
article. He's a hit and miss in the final third. If a chance comes to him, it's sort of like 50-50 if he's going to put it away. It's not like a guaranteed. He's not a clinical player. Benzema's clinical. Benzema's clinical. So you have to make
Benzema.
sure that it
You don't let
doesn't
Benzema through.
If we beat Real Madrid,
Jam.
if we beat Real Madrid tomorrow and we get PSG in the final, mark my words, we're beating them. Go on, Javi. What are you gonna say?
Now you're on that train, huh, Jam?
Don't you think it's like you said? Don't you think we need to worry about their midfield controlling the game? Because that's why I feel like
I don't think you need to worry because Cruz is injured.
And this was going to be my point.
Cruz is
That's
injured.
the only thing that worries
No
me.
way.
Conte and Mount have to have a 10 out of 10 game. They have to have
I heard. Hold on. I heard Kroos is in the squad. I heard he's in the squad.
Yeah, well, really, the battle for me tomorrow is of the midfield. That's where it's going to be won or lost. Mark my words.
They're going to have Casemiro, aren't they?
Yeah.
Mason Mount. Kante's going to have a 10 out of 10 game. Even Jorginho.
Mount's going to have a 10 out of 10 game. I'm telling you, Mount is going to fall into that just above pivot, and he's going to have to be the extended press, the extended through ball option, the extended.
He's going to be the progression. He's going to be the main progression.
And this is what I fear about Real Madrid. It's not the Real Madrid we know, but it's the individual qualities that from Modric. That these guys are serial winners. The clutch players, they can clutch it. All they need is one chance. All a Benzema needs is a loop over
They're just not going to want to concede. Their main, because the Real Madrid, if they come to Stamford Bridge, they know they'll get a couple chances, and if it's a 0-0. Or a 1-1, they know they just need a couple goals and they're in the final.
And
with us, we have to go there and score. So
we have to be clinical, man. We have to be clinical. If we're not clinical,
and all I'm gonna say is, if we draw 0-0 tomorrow, it's game over. I feel like it's game over.
Hang on.
Oh, slow your roll.
Hassan, it can't be.
Don't go panicking,
Jem, let me ask you a question. Everybody. Hassan, let me ask you a question. If our defense, again, through the regular season, through the Champions League, and through the FA Cup, if we shut out Real Madrid tomorrow and we get a clean sheet, will we finally have some sort of confidence with our defense?
I'm
already confident.
If it's Atletico, if it's Sevilla, if it's Man City, if it's all these teams, if it's Liverpool, are we finally going to have some confidence that we have something to fall back on that's a constant, that is supported through a system, through players, through aggressiveness on the ball or off the ball movement,
Yeah.
where we can
I
hold
think our
a
ultimate
0-0.
test. I think our ultimate test
Yeah,
though
yeah, yeah.
will be
I
against
agree to some
Mbappe or
extent.
Neymar.
Oh,
The
yeah,
point
yeah.
is we can hold a lead. We've proven that. We'll be able to hold a draw in scoreline. But
Yeah.
one thing I will say is we will create some sort of chances. And if we
Mhm.
take them, we will book ourselves in the final. It's as
Yeah,
simple as
we
that.
have to be
I
clinical.
think
Whether we can
I think
take them,
we've
though. This is
Yeah.
the thing.
Can
We
I?
don't.
Can I?
We will,
We
we
don't.
Can
will,
I
Jem.
talk about? You know
Because
how?
hold
What's it
on, sorry,
called?
Chris. It's because the reason I say that is like the Atleticos and the Portos, they're very, very defensive teams. Very defensive. Real
Yeah,
Madrid are not as defensive like that. So they will leave you they'll have more room for you to play on the
Yeah.
pitch. Whereas
and
with
I don't even
Porto
think
and
Can
Atletico,
I?
they shut up shop, but they try and hit you. That's what they do.
Yeah. Yeah. Can I say something about like how Real Madrid like and Liverpool look in the second leg? Look how many chances, like clear chances, Liverpool had, and they kept missing. They had so many clear chances. They could have put that game away in all that second leg, but they just bottled it. I'm just hoping we don't do the same if we have those type of chances, whoever it is. I know we don't normally score much, but I'm hoping this is a game where we kind of step up the like scoring if we do have the serious chances. So yeah. I have seen Real Madrid league commit.
We also need to kill games off sometimes. Like
Yeah.
yes, it's good we can
Eh,
defend and we see
Ramos,
that we
yes,
can
Brando.
defend, but
I mean, other way.
we need to kill the game off. Look, if we're clinical and we take our chances, and actually we're ruthless, we can 100% go right. Look, I'll be so confident if we score one goal. Like if
Alex.
we get that away goal, it's gonna be so important because we can rely on our defense and in Lexec to try and keep a clean sheet. So getting a goal in this game is so important. If we don't, I see what Hassan was saying. Look, if we don't get a goal, it's gonna be a hard game on the second leg. But
Listen,
if you get the
I
goal,
do agree.
then it's huge.
The one thing that doesn't worry me is we don't score. We struggle to find the net still. I don't know if you agree with me, but we do, and it's like we will have 2 or 3, 4 big chances in the game, and if we don't take that one chance, then there's a good chance we might draw this game. That's how I
Do you
feel.
know what? Do you know what, Jem? We've already proven though, right? When we were adjusting to Tuchel's system, that against Atletico, Giroud clutch moment, one chance kill. The Porto Mason Mount got one chance, the only chance in that first half. He shot and he killed. Then we got the second goal. It gives you confidence. But now, if you've noticed, we are creating more and more chances as
And we're
games
taking
go
shots
on.
outside the box.
And
Mason Mount,
also
yeah.
that as well, but we're creating more and more chances within this system. So I feel like we've already shown that we can be clinical, but we don't have to rely upon that. I get that, but I feel against Real Madrid we will have a handful of chances. We will get them. It's just whether you take them or not.
Jem, this is what I think this is the most scariest thing for me. I feel like we can all agree to about this. What was the name of the guy for Porto that scored the bicycle kick? I forget
I
his
don't
name.
remember.
Yeah, so
Termini.
yeah. So
Taremi.
for me,
Taremi.
the one thing that scares me about our defense is when we played against Atletico, when we played against Porto, when we played against Sevilla, we play against some of these big teams like Man City even. Whenever they take a shot or they create a chance and then the ball falls luckily to them, their biggest idea is to keep possession because they want to distribute that ball to the Joao Felixes, to the all these Corona or the guy that scored the bicycle kick or whoever these big players are. With Madrid, all of those guys from their midfield up, aside from Vinicius Jr., have that X factor where if a ball falls to Toni Kroos right outside the box, he's not thinking about retaining possession. He's looking at where Mendy is or where Kepa's going to be. And if it falls to Modric, it's the same thing. If it falls to Benzema, if it falls to Asensio, these guys are killers. And if you have a heart problem, don't watch tomorrow. If you have high blood pressure, don't watch tomorrow because it might be lethal for you,
I ain't
honestly.
scared. I ain't. I actually ain't.
Wait, you ain't scared from Madrid either?
I'm no.
I'm not scared, but they have those players that have been in 4 Champions League experiences and finals. They have that X factor to change a game.
You know what it is, right? I did not expect us to be in this position in the first place. So now that we're there, I just don't. Like, for me, it's just like cool. We're there. If we lose to Real Madrid, is it the end of the world?
Yes,
that we
No.
went out in
I think
the
we're better
final
than
of
them.
the Champions League?
No,
If it is it though?
yeah, Jem. Like me, Johnny, and a few others. I'm not sure who else has been backing it from the start. We've been backing it. We could win it, but I'm not gonna be like end of the world and cry about it. Like, yeah, I'll be upset we lost, but I just want to see from the Chelsea players, just give you all. Just go
Yeah,
out
exactly.
like with your heads up.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like because
You got to
I
bear in
am
mind,
proud of them.
This Real
Pardon?
Madrid team that we're playing, this Real Madrid team that we're playing are the kings of winning this competition. We
Yep.
can't take them lightly. You know what I
No,
mean?
you
I do.
can't.
And can I just say one more thing as well? We're up
Yeah.
against a team that has got bags of experience. Yeah, look at
Yeah.
our squad. Yeah. Look how young they all are. Yeah, some of these players ain't even got to this position in the semi-final Champions League. I would say 60 to 70% of the players that play tomorrow haven't got to this position in an important game like tomorrow. Do you know what I mean? Up against a team that have done it and won it back and back and back with players that have won it back to back to back with Zinedine Zidane. You know what I mean? We're playing against an experienced team tomorrow. We keep forgetting how young our players actually are. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I think
take it as it comes.
I think we have to give credit to Thomas Tuchel because if you watch the presser, like I get there is like a semi. This is a Champions League semifinal, but there are real life differences. There's no fans. The coach can yell and get his commands across easier. Like he makes a system where as you know your role, everybody knows how they need to play. You know what I mean? Like it's not that it's dumbed down, but it's easier. It's simpler for every player on the pitch to understand what he has to do and what he needs to do to get his job done. So I feel like I have confidence in that this team is guided through Thomas Tuchel, through Thiago Silva, through Jorginho, through Aspi. And, some of these guys have the quality to perform to that level. If you think about it, these players like Modric and Kroos and Benzema, when they were in their first Champions League, run before they got their first win, I feel like they were in the same position that these young players at Chelsea were. And we have the minerals, the tools, the manager, the experience. I think we have everything we need to win it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with being that confident. You know what I mean? We are playing very well, and we're coming up against teams that are not the same teams they were 4 or 5 years ago. Real Madrid are not the same team.
But you know what, right? And I agree. Like the one thing that Real Madrid have is the clutch experience. They have that.
Yeah.
They've won it 3 times in a row. We know that. But what I will say is they're going to be very worried about a team like us. We're not conceding. Tuchel has got a mentality in this squad right now. He's set the tone. He knows, and they all know they're a young side. But one thing about being young, as we all know, it makes you fearless.
Yeah.
And being fearless is a very dangerous thing. They know. The difference is with Tuchel, he will structure and tell them how to manage the game within the game.
That's what he's good at.
So with that, they'll know when to hit and press. They'll know when to sit back. They'll know when the right time is, and when they get their chance, someone will take it. Because it's not like we depend on a Benzema only to score us goals. We've got goals everywhere. Everyone's chipping in a goal.
Set pieces everywhere.
Everywhere. And Mount's got to have an absolute. He's our engine. He's our bloodline. For that whole him and Kante in that middle.
And Jorginho.
Jorginho will do Jorginho. He will just do what he does. But in order for him to do what he does and be comfortable, Kante and Mount have to protect him, so to speak, to allow him to dictate playing, recycle and control and keep the flow. But Havertz has got a big role as well because he's going to hold the ball and relieve us. Everyone else can chip in, but those 3 have got to be bang on it, man. Bang on it.
Is it just me? But I feel like in this game, I value Havertz's technical hold-up play, distribution. I feel like that Mount Havertz connection would be crucial to gliding through this Real Madrid, midfield. I mean, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and I'll trust what Tuchel puts out. But I don't know. I just feel like I don't know.
You might even see Tammy. You might see Tammy, man.
What do you guys think of Giroud playing in this game?
Where we can see Tammy on the bench?
No, Giroud.
What do you guys think of Giroud playing in this game, though? Giroud.
He doesn't make it. He's not technical enough.
It's
No,
highly
no,
undoubted,
no,
Alex.
no.
Highly
And-
undoubted.
No,
No
it's not
way.
because he's technical enough. It's not because of that. Because then Timo Werner plays, and I know Timo Werner's not the
Look.
most technical player.
Who's that best striker?
I hate to say it, but I feel like in football, if you look at Holland, you look at Mbappe, you look at some of the young prospective strikers, the idea of just sitting at the top and poaching a long ball out of the box or poaching a header on a cross is really coming to an end, especially with how versatile or how deep lying, or how many low blocks you're seeing. Like, I'm telling you, man, like we need someone with pace. We need someone with a more to offer than kicking the ball,
Hey,
what I'm saying,
Connor,
or striking the ball.
Did you say poaching's dying?
Absolutely.
Or like heading the ball? That's been sent into the box.
Heading, just finishing in the box.
No, I'm saying
about the long
a
ball.
striker with no ability to add anything to the team, to the starting 11, aside from being the end of a cross is coming to an end. False nines are being more prevalent.
Oh, we've got Cavani, and he's coming to an end. 30 years old.
He's a poacher.
Exactly.
He's a poacher. People, there's nearly 40 of you here. Please smash that like button. Please subscribe if you're new to GNA TV. Javi's fed asleep by the looks of it as well.
Nah,
So
my eyes just stay low.
I feel the same, Javi, man. My eyes are going, man. It's been such a long day. But yeah, listen, look, I want to just quickly get your score predictions. Let's do score predictions. I want to start with as your rival. Who do you think's winning tomorrow, mate?
I think that I think with all due respect, whoever goes out in this stage they won't go down easy. But I'm gonna be real. I think tomorrow will be. I don't know. I see Real Madrid winning 1-0. That's what I'll say.
Winning 1-0. Ad is just saying that because
Shut up. It's just
I'm unfollowing ads on Twitter as we speak.
I don't like that. I don't like that ad.
Connor,
I'm just being real, man. I'm just being real.
I'm gonna go.
Explain the reasoning, please, Ad. Explain the reasoning, please.
Like I keep saying, but like I keep saying, in this stage, especially a semi-final, there's never really going to be a thunderous amounts of goals. It's always a tight game, whether it's Europa League, Champions League, any of these tournaments. It's always just a low-scoring contest. Just like you guys against City. You guys are the better team. Took advantage of a bad situation. You guys won 1-0. Real Madrid aren't perfect at the moment, and neither are you. So I see Real Madrid just nicking it with 1-0. That's literally it. But Chelsea can do the same. But I'm just gonna be real. I'm just gonna be me and hate on Chelsea. But it's not. It's not hating on Chelsea. It's just
it is hating on Chelsea.
If you guys do go through, if you guys do go through, I'm sure it will be thoroughly deserved. But like I keep saying, it can go either way. But I'd rather see Real Madrid.
Your kryptonite is in the comment section.
Hey, don't you want to see your English team go through?
Your kryptonite is in the comment section. By the way.
I mean, I just want what I really want, because I think if you guys lose, if you guys do lose the stage, well, there's going to be so much baggage that comes in the next season in terms of players. Like, trust me, if you guys do lose this,
Stinky Jim.
you man will get.
Stinky Jim.
We're not dead. Come on.
Yeah, no, I'm just going to be honest, man. I think I'd like to see I think we'll see a 1-0 from either team. So I'd say either team instead of Real Madrid, if that makes you feel better.
All right, I am going to predict a 2-0 Chelsea win. 1 goal from a set piece, 1 goal from open play. I have confidence in our defense, and I think
2-0.
Yeah, 2-0 Chelsea.
Okay.
2-0 Chelsea.
1 goal from a set piece, 1 goal from open play.
I'll go 1-0. I'll go 1-0. Werner to score.
Timo.
I don't mind. I was just laughing about the Timo Werner, but you'll see. Go see us.
Let's
see them.
Your agenda to Krusty. That's the way it is, mate. All right. We know how much you love him, but at the end of the day, he's not good enough. He shouldn't start tomorrow. Thiago Silva comes in. Krusty on the bench. It's all good, bro. And like Tommy says here, he's overrated. You're in the GNA hive right now, bro. We're not on anywhere other than the GNA hive. But we're gonna go on to Javi. Javi, what are we going for, bro?
Yeah, 1-0. We don't score much, man. So I can see us making a 1-0. 1-0 or a sneaky 2-0 like we did against Porto.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Fair enough, bro. Who's scoring, bro?
Who's scoring? It depends who's playing, but I'm gonna go Pulisic score a goal.
Okay.
Yes, let's go. That's what I'm talking about. Made it back to my computer just in time.
I think Hudson-Odoi should play over Pulisic anyway, but we'll move
He
on to
should.
that
Hudson-Odoi's
one.
a god.
Hassan.
He shouldn't play for this game. He's not ready yet. You're not playing enough.
I think it's gonna be 2-0 to us. Like if we draw 0-0, it's game over. I've already said it, man.
Come on.
Where's the faith, man?
Yeah, it's got
because
1-1 with Leicester
no,
and
because
Palace.
if we draw 0-0,
Nice.
all it takes is Real Madrid to bang a goal past us at home. If we draw
Well, we can
0-0,
score too.
yeah, but we would have to outscore them.
Hey, they better have the combination
So
to
what
get
if we win
past this
2-1?
lock defense.
No, they're 1-2-1.
Scott, what are you saying, mate?
2-0. Havertz and Werner.
2-0 Havertz and
Werner,
Werner.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Chris?
For me,
Werner hat trick.
Yeah.
No, he wants a Ziyech trick. He does. Watch.
Alright, for me, the scoreline will be 3-1. We're going to be coasting it.
There you go, people. There you go. Alex, what are you saying?
It's gonna be. So I'm stuck between 2-1 to Chelsea and a 1-1. So I'm gonna go for a 1-1.
Yes, bruv. That's what we want to hear. Back your team. Back your team. And is it even worth asking Johnny who's the goal scorer? But what's the what's the scoreline, bro?
I can see where Chris is coming from because I think it's either got a potential to be a very, very tight, evenly scored game, or it's going to be quite a shocker where someone scores a lot of goals. I'm not saying it's going to be us. It could be them. I think they will score a goal. I think they will score a goal.
Lewis.
So I'm gonna go.
Oh yeah, Timo Werner scoring too.
If Christensen doesn't play, we're definitely going to concede. Definitely.
Lewis,
Definitely.
Christensen has never scored a header. Can I just say something very quickly? Christensen has never scored a header in his life for Chelsea. Did you know that? His whole career at Chelsea, he's never scored from a
Yeah, he's too busy holding down that back line for you, man.
He got out jumped by Martial.
I'm gonna back Lewis and be real. And the fact is, if Christensen doesn't play, we will concede for sure. If he plays, I don't think we concede.
He's not best defender though.
Actually, he's got the most clean sheets.
Your best defender? Did I just hear that?
He's got the most clean sheets. He's got
my God. Boys. Let me tell you something. I will name a better defender. I'll name a better defender, and he's literally in your team. Rudiger walks over Christensen any day.
That is true.
What are you man on about? Christensen's better than Rudiger. Trust me, Rudiger on his day is a top class defender. Trust me.
Every time Christensen's played, I don't
what
think
is up with
conceded.
this Christensen agenda, bro? I think we'd be happy we have a good defender.
I'm pretty sure we have Johnny.
No, y'all's agenda.
Johnny, look, we have Johnny West Brom.
John, who's your back three for the game?
Yeah, but that was one freak game where we got a red card.
But
but I'm just saying.
Christensen came on to a game that was already lost.
Send him back where he come from.
Well, it wasn't lost.
So you can't really blame Christensen.
We didn't lose. We wasn't actually losing
just
the game.
Just saying, boys. Rudiger's your best defender by far.
If we're gonna be real, Thiago can pull down a defender in a West Brom game for a yellow card, and it'd be considered a smart play.
Sorry?
But Christensen does the same thing, and it's considered a reckless,
No,
uneducated.
but with the Thiago Silva
in the Champions League against Barcelona when he decided to give Messi a goal in the 82nd minute, and then we lost the game at Barcelona.
Look at the agenda. That's an agenda there.
That was started from Christensen.
with the Silva thing, yeah, that wasn't really down to Thiago Silva. Wasn't him? Jorginho sadly set that guy through, and Thiago Silva had to bring him down. I would have said the same
loves hating on players for no reason. He's just so proud of it, bro. Like, look
bro,
at
like, why are we? Hold up. Why are we hating on this, man?
It's
Look,
because
Lewis,
there's no
Lewis,
there's
He's
no
been performing so well.
let's
You
let
think we'd be
Lewis come on
happy?
and have his say.
the bottom line
Scott,
is the bottom
one
line
second,
is.
Johnny, 1
Wait,
second.
Go
Scott,
on, go on.
2 seconds. I'm just going to get Lewis on because he keeps wanting. I think he wants to come as well. Scott, thanks for coming on,
Yeah.
bro. We're going to play it.
No problem, cheers.
Take care,
Cheers, bro.
Scott.
all
Johnny,
I'm gonna
Johnny.
say, right? I want to.
Wait, Hassan, can I ask John a question?
What is
Johnny,
that?
who's your back?
Yeah.
This
Yes.
is the
AC
AC
penitentiary,
penitentiary,
bro.
baby. The AC penitentiary.
Get this out. Don't put this on my channel. Get this. I don't want to see this crap.
This
Put
is
it on
the
the big
AC
screen.
penitentiary.
Put it on the
Get it
big
out.
screen. Put it on the
Crusty.
big screen.
Get it out.
Wait,
Stop hating on him.
Johnny, who's your
Stop
back
hating
three
on
for
him.
the game tomorrow? Then who's your back three? Who do you go for? Who do you go for?
Paul Christensen's. That's
I
it,
don't
done.
know if Thiago Silva plays this one.
No, he has to. He has to play this.
Why'd
game.
you say that? He
Because of
played
the
our last
experience,
game.
man.
Silva not playing against Real? Are you mad?
Are you
Yeah,
mad?
but listen, hear me out. Hear me out.
I could
No.
bench him
He
against any
played-
other defender?
He played
What is
against
Hold on, yes,
West Ham.
everybody. AC Hive, rise up. Everybody in the comments
Let's
section,
go.
fan it out for the Danish Maldini. Andreas Baresi, Andreas Beckenbauer. You already know. Yes, bring up the AC on, Connor. That's my
Rubbish.
G. Come on, bro.
Hey, man.
When-
Guess what?
What's
the-
everyone
the
saying?
road-
we need a
Yeah,
Werner
yeah,
hype.
You
Yeah,
know
yeah.
what the funny
Yeah,
thing is,
yeah.
right?
I don't want to see that
If,
on my
if
screen.
this is keeps a cliche, I can already see Benzema in the AC penitentiary, man.
You think the edit's aren't already
Your
ready?
penitentiary
I've got
finished
one for
ages ago.
Courtois if he
It
gets
finished
packed by
against West Brom.
Christensen.
It
He's
finished
even
against
got one for
West
Eden
Brom, and he
Hazard.
decided to come on and
Bro,
we could
I
see
remember
his goal.
coming on this
What are you
channel and we
talking
were
about?
like, the most improved player under Thomas Tuchel is Christensen. Christensen
It's
this.
Rudiger.
Oh, was
my
it?
God.
Who was it?
Oh my
Nah,
God.
Rudiger's
Listen,
been
no,
quality.
let me tell you something.
Rudiger
Let me
has
tell you
been
something,
quality.
boys.
No,
Let me
no,
tell you
but
something, right? Listen, you know what? One second. Right, let me tell you something. For me, I'll actually back that, and I'll explain why. I'll actually back that. For me, Rudiger was always a good player.
Yeah.
For me, I think, like I said before, everyone knows this. I said if he has a manager that believes in him and he plays routinely with like 2 off games, like on the bench, then he'll project and be a better player. And we've seen that. For me, Christensen wasn't great, and there wasn't a real solid kind of, space
Lack of
for him. As if
confidence.
I didn't know his identity at Chelsea Football Club. But under Tuchel, there's one forming, so I'll back that. So Lewis, Connor, you man got what you wanted.
All I'm gonna say, we need a
That's called Tuchel.
One second, guys.
No matter what, how
Agree.
he is, I wouldn't play him tomorrow.
Guys, one second,
If we're
one
being
second,
real,
one second.
both look like clowns under
One second.
Lampard.
Can we agree on this, Lewis, that we said moving forward through the Champions League that if Thiago Silva's fit, he starts over Christensen.
In the middle of the back three, yes.
Yes, but then Christensen, for me, if he's not playing in the middle of the back three, shouldn't be on the pitch because Aspie, if he's fit, plays in that.
I'm hearing rumours we're pushing for Aspie to play right wing back again.
Yeah.
No, that ain't happening.
If that's the case, then
that was
It's
shocking.
not happening.
Do you know, Lewis? Do you know why I don't think that's happening?
apparently the
Lewis.
West
Do you know-
Ham game was meant to be a dress rehearsal.
No,
I
but
can
I
see that.
don't
I
think that's
can see
happening
that.
because
The dress
no,
Yes,
I
Jamie.
believe
Yes, Jamie. Yes.
Tuchel. I honestly believe Tuchel did it for as well, like the rest. Rhys James. Rhys James is needed for that game. I feel he can cross, he can defend.
That's funny.
He's a very balanced right back.
Aspie against Vinicius, that's scary, bro. He doesn't have. He's seen how he got outpaced by Frederick.
Don't worry about
He
Vinicius.
only, he only, he only
You're
got
gonna
beat
see-
once at right wing back.
You're
Nah,
gonna see
you can't have
Vinicius
Aspie
jump over Aspie like Ronaldo jumped over an old boy that's been on every single soccer photo I've ever seen in my life.
Christensen is bitch, dude. It will make Vinicius, bro. Vinicius will make Christensen his bitch, man.
He
Trust
didn't
me.
have
That's
What?
crazy.
If he gets
You're
in that box,
smoking.
Vinicius ain't that good at. Come on.
if he gets in that box, trust me, bro. He's
No,
better than
forget
Werner.
him.
Guys,
Wait,
we need
can we
experience.
just
He's
stop a
not
second?
better than Werner.
We're not
Wait,
playing.
forget Vinicius. Can you imagine Hazard against Christensen?
Oh,
Get
what do you mean?
removed.
Wait,
Nah,
wait,
Rudi's gonna take
If we're
Alright,
talking
alright,
about
listen,
iconic Champions League
listen, right.
performances, we shouldn't be worried about Eden Hazard's. We should be thinking about Christensen's iconic performance coming up in the next 2 games.
I hope he
Yes,
has an iconic
Lewis.
performance and takes us to a final. I
Yes,
really
Johnny,
do.
as well. I ain't forgot about you. Mason Mount's packing that entire midfield for 2 legs.
Yeah, you know
You
it.
already know.
You know, mate. You
Jem,
know.
hold on. Everybody. Jem. My question for you. If you had to choose between taking a Champions League final appearance, but Aspi doesn't start any game in this fixtures against Real Madrid and Christensen has to start, would you take it?
Would I say it again? Sorry, mate. I didn't hear the first bit.
If you had to trade these next 2 fixtures against Real Madrid, and you can for sure get us into the final, right? But Aspi doesn't start and Christensen starts over him every time, would you take it?
What, in the final? So
It gets us to the final if Christensen takes Aspi's spot for every game coming up.
And plays the final.
Yes, of course I would.
Jam, you
all right.
That's bad. Flipping off.
Of course, you should say yes.
I always put the team first. I haven't got player agendas. I've got a club agenda. That's what it is. I just love
It could
my
be
club.
Aspi or Christensen, but both have shown that they can ace it in the right centre back.
Yeah.
No, they can't. Lewis, this is where you muck it up. You know that. No.
Can I say something, boys? Yo, can I say something quick?
You are level on points with us going into the game. Christensen.
Yo, can I say something quick?
Why do we
Can I just say
complicate things? Wait, 1 second, Ads. Why do we complicate things when we have a fit Aspi who's played very well in that position because we want Christensen to be on the pitch? Why do that when we know?
But Jem, to be fair, yeah. Hold on. To be fair, right? When Tuchel's put in Zuma, take out Rudiger, played Christensen, vice versa, he's taken everyone out. Everyone does their job. Everyone performs. Now, there's going to be no different. There's going to be no difference. And if Aspi does play wing back, you know that he's playing that because he wants the insurance of Christensen protecting with Vinicius Junior.
But Johnny, we have to go get goals. This is our way.
We will get goals. We will get goals.
Yeah.
We
will get goals.
We'll
always be more defensively minded. We play a system that's defensively minded itself. So the first thing we're going to do is make sure that we're hard to break down.
Yes.
That's why we've kept the most clean sheets out of everybody in Europe. Well, the joint most clean sheets. But it's because we're hard to break down. So I'm not surprised he's doubling down on that and putting Azpilicueta at wing back if that's what we go for. I think from a more attacking perspective, if you want to expose the fact that they don't have Ferland Mendy playing, you could play Callum Hudson-Odoi at right wing back as well, and I feel like that would be a viable option. But it all depends on how we approach the game.
But Lewis, it's been very clear and evident that Reece James and Aspi has worked this season. Why change it? Why are we always forever trying to muck things around?
Because every single team is different, and no team is going to be the same.
There's no point arguing this. He's not playing.
Hey, Thomas Tuchel said in his presser the reason why he played Christensen there is because West Ham are better at set pieces and they're bigger than us, and Aspi will suffer. So there is no player in this team that is infallible and is Jesus and cannot be changed for tactical reasons or rested or substituted.
Rudiger can. Rudiger's the only person.
Stinky agenda.
Can I say something about
stinky.
Can I say something
comes back to the squad, puts in performance,
bro. That's like
out of a low.
That is
and now you want to
burner account. I'm sure of it. He definitely was.
Can I say something about Aspi? Has Tuchel dropped Aspi this season?
No.
Yeah, that's the reason, right?
Yeah, but
he's consistent.
He's captain.
He's captain as well, but and he's always consistent. We always call him Mr. Reliable.
All right,
he's
cool.
Mr. Reliable
Did he
to
play
us.
the West Brom game?
Yeah, what?
Yes, he did. He played next to Christensen when he
Was he
came
ring
on.
back?
He was wing back.
The only game. Hold on. The only game he didn't start where he came on was against Sheffield United in the second
Yeah, but that's
half.
the FA Cup.
FA Cup. Yeah. But
I mean,
he had a
the FA
poor
Cup's the FA
performance.
Cup.
He was poor in that game.
Guys, he's gonna play, man.
He kept a clean sheet.
No. I'm sick of
to play against Real Madrid. He's gonna play.
I'm sick of hearing
Chelsea Rangers.
Chris, you say consistency, Chris. Listen, mate, you're talking about consistency, but for me personally, if you're talking about consistency, then people like Rudiger just Rudiger needs to play, because for me, He's a
Just
bully in that
Rudiger,
defense. He
not
bullies.
16 clean
In,
sheets.
in,
No,
in,
yeah,
listen, in
I
the
hear
short,
that.
one second. In the short space, no, this isn't me telling you off, Chris. It's just saying, I'm just
Yeah,
saying
I
to
know.
everyone. For everyone to look, you know how hard it is to find a defender that bullies people consistently.
He
Man
was
bullied Suarez, and people
he
didn't
was
want to admit
slippery,
it.
bruv.
And I
He was
know,
slippery the last game.
Johnny,
He
let me
was
finish.
slippery.
Johnny, let me finish. And I'll tell you this right now. You man need Rudiger in the future, and you need him tomorrow. Because I'll tell you this right now. He will. Listen. I just see it. I just see the pictures after the game.
I
If
don't
him
think
just,
anyone.
if him just having words with all the
Bro, I
attackers,
don't think
as if
anyone's
he's.
against
Can I
debating
finish? Can I
Rudiger's
finish? Can I
position.
finish? Can I finish? Can
Yeah,
I finish?
no one's
Can I
debating his
finish?
position though.
Yeah, but everyone's there saying, "Oh, Christensen needs to play. He needs to
Yeah,
do
but
this. He
no
needs to
one's
do
saying
that."
he
But
plays on the left.
the first thing that should go in your head is Rudiger should be in that team. He's
Yeah,
your
but
best
that's the
defender
thing.
by
Everyone's
far.
ignoring it
So where?
because he's
Okay,
already
cool. So
going
where
to
does he
have his
go
spot on
then?
the left
Not
hand.
better
On
than
the
Silva.
left hand side, no one's debating the left hand side. Rudiger keeps that.
Yeah,
That's
but
why no one's speaking about it, bro. That's what I was trying to tell you.
he don't get in, does he? Still, Lewis. Look, if Thiago Silva's fit, he starts in these kind
Yes,
of
but
games where you
that's
need
the question
experience.
mark because I don't know if he's fully fit for this game.
Yeah,
He
I
usually plays-
I don't know if
he
he
usually
starts.
plays one game a week with a 5-day gap in
Yeah,
between us.
Tuchel,
yeah.
We've had three.
We're
He'll
playing
play
Fulham.
second leg, maybe.
That's
I think
stupid, bro.
you'll
That's
play him.
dumb.
I think you need
don't
him.
rest Silva against a top class attacker.
Yeah,
like that.
I'm not saying we
I'm
don't.
saying.
I'm not saying we don't need him. We do need him, but I don't think we overplay him either.
Yeah, but this is a game you have
we
to
got
play him.
Fulham
could
on
easily
Saturday,
go
bro.
Sell Christensen. He's not good
again
enough.
for the first leg.
We got Fulham on Saturday. He can rest that game.
Yeah, rest him against
Yeah,
Fulham.
so I'm
Yeah,
saying
but
player.
then you risk overworking him. He gets injured
Why
in
did
the
he play
first
against
leg, and
West?
now
Why
he's
did he
out for
play
the
against
second
West
leg.
Ham? Would be my question. Why did we?
Because
bother
that
doing
game was
Why
just
didn't
as important to us. That was big.
West,
to us
the West
before.
Ham game was a must win. It was a
we- you could
must
have
win.
just wait. So you could have just put Aspie in his normal position and just put Krusty there then, and just rested him.
No,
Why
no,
do you
no,
call
no,
him
no.
that still? You call him that religiously. Crusty.
It's an agenda. Why are you calling me crusty, bro?
I love how Jem says it's so
Jem, I love you, man.
casual.
Oh my god.
If you just say so casual, just pull it in there.
No, I'm,
Put Krusty in there.
I'm triggering everyone today.
Hey, Jem. This is what I think. I think that no matter who is in our defense, I truly say this, and you can freak out if you want. It doesn't matter if it's Zuma, it doesn't matter if it's Thiago, it doesn't matter if it's Aspie, Christensen, Rudiger. I personally think whoever Thomas Tuchel puts in our back three, I have faith that they know the role that they need to play, and they understand whether it's through Thiago Silva yelling at them from the bench, from the stands, or whatever. They will perform. They know, and they will perform their role.
But do you know what I'm going to say to that is, out of all of our centre backs, there are two that are highly out of the four likely to make a mistake or got a mistake in them, and that's Rudiger and that's Zuma. The other two don't have it in them.
No.
They do.
No, rubbish. Not hearing it. All of your defenders make mistakes.
Rudiger scored an
All
own
of your
goal.
defenders have
out
made
of all-
mistakes.
No. Christensen,
All of them.
where's his
Can I-
mistake? Where's his mistake?
Can I say?
Thiago Silva made one mistake in his first game.
I'm not talking about. You can take away Thiago Silva. He's not going to be there.
Yeah, so
Christensen, Zuma, and Rudiger all have mistakes in them. All three of them.
Where's Christensen had a
do.
mistake
All
under
three of
Tuchel?
them.
Christian
See this right now. I'm not hearing this. I'm not hearing this because you know what, Johnny.
I need to get my helmet.
Listen, one second. Whether or not maybe Rudiger and Zuma do have mistakes in them. I'm not saying that they don't, but I'll tell you this right now. As centre backs, in terms of quality, you compare Christensen to them on their day, bro, he lacks massively. So I'm saying this to you right now. They all have faults. And one second, in terms of consistency as well, I don't think Christensen's that great.
Consistency. That's why he had 16 clean sheets in his last 16.
When was the last time he did that, Lewis? When was the last time? When was the last time he did it?
25. He's 25.
Lewis, can you answer that question? When was the last time he did it? He's a patch player, mate. He's a patch player.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
Wait,
Johnny, you can't answer my question. Johnny, you can't answer my question, though. When was the last time? When was the last time he went on however many games with that run? When was the last time?
Do you know how old he is?
When was the last time? You can't answer my question.
When was the last time? 17-18 season. The last time he got played regularly.
Conte. No, fucked that up, didn't he?
Rubbish.
What do you mean rubbish?
He fucked up himself. He fucked up.
I'm literally telling you as a fact. He played regularly under Antonio Conte.
Look at Christensen. Look at this.
Because he only
How
had
did he have a stinker?
And
what do you mean, and?
you like listen. You can bring a consistency patch from nearly 3 years ago, and you think that's gonna impress me? No, that shit.
And I'm telling,
not listening
that's what
to
I'm
it.
telling you about now.
That's
no,
I
ads,
don't care about now. All you do
You're
is
asking
talk
about
about the past.
Yo, Zavi, we got the same bed frame, bro. I got my
Ads.
bed. You get
You
your
know
bed from
Rudiger,
IKEA.
you know, hold on. You know Rudiger.
No, I was talking, Johnny. All you can do is talk about, oh, there's mistakes in Rudiger and there's mistakes in Zuma. But guess what? For me, you can talk about the mistakes, but the consistency and the there's a consistency overall. I don't think Christensen has that. I don't think he does.
When
You
has
can have
Rudiger had a
mistakes.
consistent
Look,
run?
like for example, let me finish. Boys, let me land. Boys, let me land. Boys, let me land. But look, Rudiger, Sheffield United. 1 second. Let me finish, please. Listen, Rudiger against Sheffield United had a good game, solid. Yeah. Yes, he made a mistake, but
he was immense, though,
Christensen, he might not make mistakes, but I guarantee you, he will usually have 6 games. An average game for Rudiger is a 7. Trust me. You watch him close enough. He's your best centre back.
Hold on. Rudiger has had some absolute stinkers, bruv. We were looking to sell him. We were looking to sell him
For about 2 minutes straight.
He was going to go Spurs.
Bro, stop sniffing his ass, man.
He was going to go Spurs.
Bro, you're sniffing Rudiger's ass.
Am I? Because you're disrespecting him. Because you're there. Respect him. He's a joke, man. He's a joke.
Bro, you know nobody was talking about Rudiger until you brought him up. Only you brought Rudiger up.
Our defenders go like this.
Wait, Johnny, wait. No one brought Rudiger up until you started yakking on about how he needs to be in the squad. When we all said he was we all said he was going to be in the squad. He locks
No one mentioned him, Lewis.
Nobody was debating it. But then you came in thinking everyone's got something against Rudiger. No, he's locked down his position.
Yeah, but Lewis, do you know why?
It's done.
1 second. Do you know why? It's because Ads actually really likes Rudiger, so he's probably gone as defensive as you do with Krusty. So when we talk about
no, it's not that.
Guys, can I just say this? Ads, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this.
Debating if he gets into the squad or not.
No one mentioned his name. So I was assuming that, bro. Relax.
That's it.
You assumed.
So
you didn't get the point.
Relax,
that was the problem.
It's all cool. Relax.
Bro, the only one needs to relax for 5 minutes with you.
All right, Lewis, I'm going to say this
to
Ads, right? Ads, wait. So, all right, who are the best team in the country right now are City, yeah? They are the best.
Okay.
We all agree. They're the best. They're the best team in the Premiership, right? And we are second, I would say. United, they're not on great form like we are. All right. So I'm going to put you like this, yeah. All right, listen. I'm going to put it to you like this. Out of all of our centre backs, there are only 2 that get into that Manchester City side, and those 2 players. No, hold on. Those 2 players are Thiago Silva and Andreas Christensen. Rudiger does not get
bullshit.
It's not.
It's shit.
This is fact. And I'll tell you why.
It's not fact. It's an opinion, Johnny. Let's get that straight. It's an opinion.
It's fact.
No, 1 second. No, Jem, stop. It's an opinion. It's not a fact, Johnny. It's an opinion. Now you can continue. It's not a fact. It's an opinion.
It is.
Get that straight.
Out of our 4 defenders, there's no way. Rudiger or Zuma get into City side.
Johnny, 1 second. Can I just say something about all our defenders? I'm not even talking about Krusty, Rudy, Zuma.
Christensen, stop being so.
All of these players are inconsistent, and they have shown patches of inconsistency. We cannot rely on them to go throughout a full season, and help us win titles. They're not good enough.
16 starts, 16 clean sheets.
Yeah, but they are now, Jem. Under Tuchel, they are
now, bro. Come on, man. Like, I'm being serious with you, right?
We're not on a
being serious.
They're playing well in a system. Guys, they're playing well in a system that's working for them at the moment. Cool.
That's what I'm saying.
Happens when that system gets found out? and we have to then adapt to
But we have to
something
go
else.
4 at the back, and we need Varane.
You go to a 4 in the back. Are you getting the same performances out of Christensen?
No,
No,
you sell Christensen. You been him off to West Brom.
1 second. No,
What?
that's
That's a bit
the
hard,
issue.
dog.
That's the issue.
Barcelona will take him, I reckon.
We've got system players. We've got players that adapt to certain styles, and it's working for him at the moment. Cool, I'm happy. But what I'm trying to get with Christensen, you say that he hasn't done this, that, and the other. He got sent off against Liverpool with a red card, and we lost that game 2-0 at home.
Yeah,
and that was
that's
the
the only
season.
mistake this
Yeah,
season.
that was,
That's
but
the
that was
only mistake
a
this
mistake.
season.
But they've all got it in them, Lewis. That's what I'm trying to say to you. They all do have. that
Yeah,
in
and
them.
I'd agree with that if the same
But
energy was
every-
given
but-
to all three. But,
but
we act like
Jem-
Christensen's the biggest pansy, where he's
But
probably our
Jem,
best
look at-
technical
look at-
defender other than
Zuma's a
Silva.
big pansy.
Look at City. City have got Stones has got a mistake in him all the time. Laporte's got a mistake in him. Every defender, every central defender, they've
Everyone
all
gets
got a
stuck.
mistake.
Everybody
Everyone's got a
gets
mistake
stuck.
in them.
Even Silva.
All right, let me ask you this
Wait,
question
Laporte's
then.
got mistakes in him. I don't really
Let me ask you this
Laporte makes
question then.
mistakes.
Yeah, yeah.
Would Christensen bully people like Suarez, like Rudiger has, basically with
Of
ease?
course
Would
not.
he do
Yeah,
that?
No.
yeah, but
Would he do that?
ads,
He's been
ads.
doing
You're
it the
talking
last
about.
Would he do that?
You're talking
He's
about
a-
If he can't do
alpha.
that,
You're talking
then
about
he's
an
not
alpha
worthy of even
defender.
being at
He's
Chelsea.
literally been doing it the last 3 months.
Can
Oh,
I
bullshit.
say,
Rubbish.
you know,
This
you
guy
say
has
about
been playing
Rudy's a
against
bully, yeah?
Everton's attack,
Rubbish.
Liverpool's
He's
attack,
playing well at the moment.
Spurs'
He's in
attack,
form.
Atletico
Can I-
Madrid's
can-
attack,
I'm not saying he's not playing
Manchester
well.
City's
Like you're
attack,
acting
and
like I'm
he's got
saying that,
clean
Lewis,
sheets
and I'm not.
against every single one of them. This man who's apparently is dead at aerial duels is getting 80% plus aerial duels in every single game. Every single thing that people talk about him is a myth unless they're talking about his mentality. That's the only downside to his game. Other than that, everyone's just chatting
He's a
shit. because he
confidence
proves
player.
Right, hold on.
every-
I'm not
He's a
saying.
confidence player.
Hold on. I'm not saying he's a bad player. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I don't think that he's better than Rudiger, and I don't think he can put people like Suarez in his pocket.
But
I
ads,
don't
they're
think he
two
can.
different
He
defenders. They're
already
two
has
different.
done it.
Then why do you guys
He's
compare
already
them then?
done
It makes
it.
no fucking sense to me. Why do you guys
Because
compare them
I'd
then?
rather have
Because
Thiago Silva and
Christensen is better than
Christensen.
Rudiger.
I would have Christensen and Thiago Silva than
guys.
Rudiger and Thiago Silva.
We're
You're
going to go
bugging,
round.
you're bugging,
There's other
you're
people here as well. Let's go round and ask everyone. All right, we start with Werner. Tim, Farder. I keep seeing him as Werner. Farder. Who would you rather have, Rudiger or Christensen at the back?
He's not Christensen.
Raw. Fucking hell, Lewis is here. Jesus.
Can
No,
I?
it doesn't matter.
You know,
Forget-
Oh,
go
it
in
feels
your
hard
preference.
though. Like
Well, if it was Werner and Mount, you'd say Werner, wouldn't you, fancy?
Well, no, all right. Let's change up the system then. Let's change up the system. Let's change up the system. There's four. We're playing 4 at the back, right? Thiago Silva's one of them. Who are you playing next to him? Christensen or Rudiger?
Zuma.
if you're forward back, I'll put Christensen straight away. Same.
You're bugging.
You're going for Christensen. All right.
Yeah.
Real Chris, who would you go for? Rudiger or Christensen? Next to
Oh,
Thiago
it's a tricky one. It is, but I'm probably gonna say Christian because I've seen Rudiger at the 4 back too, and it's not the greatest all time.
Yeah.
Neither is.
Okay, fair enough. Johnny, you're going for Christensen, aren't you? Yeah.
Oh, all
I'm
day,
assuming.
yeah.
all right,
Rudiger
cool.
for me,
Alex?
he's got to be sold.
What?
Oh, you're a joke, man.
Alex?
Him and Zuma got to go.
I sign him
No,
up.
Zuma's better than
He wants
Christian
to,
at
we'll
4
give
back.
him over.
Wait, 1 second. I'm trying to find out. Alex, are you there?
Yo, look, I like both players, man. I'm not here, I think both players have different qualities. Yes, Christensen's got different types of qualities. Rudiger's got different types of quality. I think they're both decent centre backs. If I
But you got
think
to
back
choose,
three-
Alex. You
No.
got to choose.
If I had to pick, look, man.
Alex is-
So I don't know. Wait. Let me think. I'll go for Rudiger for more experience. That's what I'll do. But
Okay, fair enough.
more age in there. But look, I would have Christensen in there also, man.
What about
for me,
longevity?
No, I'm gonna say on the
Johnny,
fence.
stop changing it. Stop changing it. I know what you're doing. Stop
Zuma's
it.
better than both. anyway, 4 back.
Javi, who are you going for?
Rudiger, straight up. I don't get how. Like,
Facts, my bro. Thank you.
All right, straight up. Danish Maldini.
Fuck's sake.
It's obviously Christensen.
oh my god.
Nah.
Oh, you listen, Hassan. Don't ever talk to me again, bro. I thought No, I'm joking, bro. Everything's blessed, man. Everything's blessed.
Connor, you're going for Christensen.
It's all for Conte,
It's a
man.
no-brainer. It's Christensen.
So you'd rather have Christensen in a back four than have Rudiger. That is bedazzles me because
6-1, you know.
Can I say one thing? Can I say one thing before you go?
Are you hustle hive?
No, that's a lie, Johnny.
Can I say something? Zuma's better than both at forward or back anyway. So
yeah. I will say that. Like my ideal scenario would be keep Rudiger and Christensen and we bin off Kurt Zuma. I feel like that would be.
He's better than both at forward or back.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
Yes, he is. Yes, okay, this season forward or back. Yeah, Zuma was better.
No, he's not. Did you see against
Yes,
Wolves?
he was. Yes, he was better. He was actually really good with Silva at forward or back.
He is good at
He is, I guarantee no one says to have Lo Celso had better decision making against us in the 90s.
I'm just saying, Chris, I understand your point. Chris, I understand your point, but what I will say is Zuma ain't better than Rudiger, but for me, he's better than Christensen.
Say Christensen. I knew it. I fucking
That's
knew
what
it.
I'd say.
Lads, you have an agenda.
Zuma's a poor defender.
There's no agenda here. There's no agenda because the prime example of an agenda
Boy,
is
you
when
know
you
what?
bully him like
Listen, you know when Tuchel took over, we conceded 2 goals. Did you know one of those goals?
Oh, look at that!
One of those goals conceded was an own goal by Rudiger.
And who was your best player at the start of the season alongside Thiago Silva?
You can't use that.
Who?
Zuma. Zuma was our best player.
Johnny,
Rudiger
you
didn't
can't
play.
say that.
Rudiger didn't play under Lampard.
Do you want to know why Zoom was so good? Do you want to know why Zoom was so good? Because he didn't have to use his head and he had Thiago Silva next to him telling him to do everything.
This was not with Thiago Silva.
Bullshit.
That's a fact.
Look at
Listen,
Zuma.
boys,
Look at him.
we could film that, but
Zuma, Lampard
When he
played
was next to
Zuma
John
with
Terry instead,
Silva.
another leader.
No, but it's not
Johnny,
even just that.
Johnny.
Before that, he was good.
Johnny, towards the end, Rudiger started
Back,
getting
man.
in. Rudiger started getting in, and he was playing well in the back four.
Hardly,
Rudiger
bro.
bullies attackers.
Hardly, bro.
Listen, Johnny. You act like Rudiger
We
didn't
were
have
on a
an
shit
extra-
run.
Listen,
We were on a
listen.
shit run. When we were on a
Let
good
him
run,
speak, Johnny.
Xavi,
Let him speak.
it was Zuma.
Wait.
You might want to talk about
acting like-
Christensen when he's bad at
You
football. Look
acting
at
like
Rudiger
Rudiger
when
didn't
he's
have an
got
excellent game against Sheffield by that own goal.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
What?
Christensen had a great game against Liverpool, but he got sent off.
I'm not
and that's
talking
all
about
people
that, but
remember him
Johnny's
for.
making a-
Same
Johnny's
energy,
making a-
please.
Guys,
Same energy.
guys, listen, if you want to go, let me land, guys.
The line stopped going 1-0.
Listen,
But all people remember is the red card. So with Rudiger, the energy will stay the same. All I remember is the own goal because the energy will remain the same for all 3.
The bottom line is, Zuma played
That got
under
him on
Lampard.
beautiful.
Hold on. When we were under Lampard, we went on that 17-game run. It was Zuma with Thiago Silva predominantly. That's who
Look
it
at
was.
the teams we played.
Yeah,
though.
it doesn't matter. We went on a great run, and when we were on a
Alright,
shit
but look
run,
at the side.
who came into the side? Rudiger. When we went on a shit run, it was Rudiger.
It all
coming
started
in.
when we lost at Everton, and who was playing in the back?
Who?
Zuma.
You know what,
And
Xavi?
we were playing against Wolves.
When
Who
was this?
conceded that goal against Wolves that dropped off Pedro Neto and
And
Pedro
when
Neto
and when
ran at
Silva
him?
didn't play,
That-
who
and
played?
then- listen,
And when Silva
and
didn't play, who played?
Let him
who
finish,
do you think
Johnny.
was at fault for that Southampton 3-3 and that Southampton 1-1?
There's been plenty of games where all of them made
Xavi.
mistakes. Though, what's your point about that?
But I'm just
Right,
saying,
right.
Rudiger has been immense under Tuchel and
Yeah,
towards
he's
the
bad.
And the
Yeah,
season
under
before,
Tuchel,
where
the
he's
three at the
got
back.
so many
Three at
mistakes,
the back.
and he cost us games.
Listen,
What about that?
what games have Rudiger
He's
cost
cost us games last season.
Last
Oh,
we're talking about
Oh,
last
it's always
season.
last season.
At
It's always
forward
bullshit.
back, no, but at forward back,
Then when the AC, we're going to talk about the fact that he barely played instead and used that as
I'm
a
not
Zoom
talking
is
about
AC,
that,
man.
though.
It's really
Rudiger
bad.
played
I'm
and
not
was
talking
our
about
worst
that.
centre back in the league last season.
I'm not talking about
Rudiger
And don't forget,
goes
he
up and down
he
like
was
the stock
transferred.
market. He goes up and down, and
All I'm gonna
right
say-
now he's on a steady level.
Christensen goes up and down.
He ain't
Guys,
the
all I'm
one
gonna-
we're looking for going forward and winning
Johnny.
premierships.
You're
bro.
bugging.
All
No
I'm going to
chance.
say is Rudiger.
He ain't the one.
Rudiger's pinned his position and no one's replaced him since. But it's funny how Christensen gets replaced still, doesn't he?
'Cause he plays on the left,
Because it's
Sam.
Thiago
He's shit,
Silva
that's
in
why.
his
Just saying,
position.
Yeah, but he
Hey,
plays
if
on the
Thiago
left.
Silva played
He
left
plays on the
centre back,
left.
Rudiger
Finding
wouldn't
a
have an
left-sided
injured
centre
game
back
time
is
either.
very hard. It's very hard.
Oh, it's
I love what
hard,
you
is
do.
it? Oh, it's hard. Yeah, we should feel
Yeah.
sorry for him. Yeah.
No,
Anyway,
it's not. It's
people-
not about feeling sorry. It's about the fact that we've got a Sarr who's going to come
Please
back in,
smash
who's
that
a
like button.
left-footed centre back.
Please
Well,
subscribe to
Maguire's better than all of them
TV.
combined. So
Maguire. Oh my god, you stunk it up, ads. You stunk
Anyway,
it
on
if
up.
I
that
had
note,
to
guys,
choose, if I had to choose two center backs
Look
for
at
the
our
next
clean
5 years
sheets,
for
Ad.
Chelsea,
take
it's
care,
Tony
people.
Rudiger and it's
Take care,
Andreas
people.
Christensen.
See you later.
Those are the
Peace.
It's like he's free, dying in his
Maguire's top
free time.
class.
In the dance,
Maguire's the best out of all of them, though.